Look at these fucks.
Here we go.
They all collect DVDs and figurines. This is QAnon.
All right.
This is the Proud Boys.
So
here is where all the commotion started. Now, apparently, all these people on this screenshot I was showing, I never heard one of them in my whole life. I think I seen this fat fuck on H3. They don't like him, right?
The quartering.
But this
He's
screenshot...
like a Brie Larson guy.
I didn't know that was him. All I know is Chrissy Marr when I was showing this screenshot, and I just assumed these are fucking...
And the guy from Crowder.
Did I know him, though, at the time? I mean, I don't even think I was talking about him.
Probably not.
I was like, it's Chrissy Marr and a bunch of losers. Like when we watched that ski mask guy.
Yes.
I mean, to me, if you're on screen with Chrissy Marr, you're like a bottom of the barrel fucking loser. I'm not going to look into it any further than that. So I see this, and by the way, I'm anti doing a Zoom call broadcast from your bedroom. I'm like, if all these guys are in their bedrooms, I'm anti that. I'm anti, yes, a bookcase of DVDs as your set. I'm anti that. So I see this and I say, this is, you know, the losers of the world. This is the bottom of the barrel people. This is QAnon. This is Proud Boys. This is the... And lo and behold, all these people in this screenshot, all they took away from that is, they think we're QAnon and Proud Boys? Now, here's where, I want to play this. And maybe I'm the one who has this weird, maybe this is a Chicago way of talking that no one else knows. I want to play this because this happened with me and Joey Diaz. Listen to this. Fox. They all collect DVDs and figurines. This is QAnon. This is the Proud Boys. Right. These are the scum of America's bottom. Now, in my head right there, I'm listing 3 different groups.
With a similar vibe.
I'm saying this is what these losers are doing. This is what QAnon's doing. This is what the Proud Boys are doing. These are these groups. For some reason, everyone, even the girl who posted this, is going, I don't know why Mike's accusing them. He must be trolling or shit posting. No, I'm just giving 3 different examples. And then you go, what if you have to like really spell everything? I mean, how many people didn't know that when they listened to this clip? Press 1 if you knew exactly what I was talking about. Press 2 if, oh my God, I thought you were saying they were Proud Boys. That to me,
most people must know.
No, Jules, you always have such faith in humanity. Obviously, there's like a million tweets going, why is he calling us Proud Boys? We're not Proud Boys just because we collect DVDs. That's more chilling than what I thought you were to begin with. You're going to watch a lawyer by the name of Nick Ricetta down here. He's going to do a whole thing about how, I mean, he couldn't tell the difference. He's a lawyer. This man went to law school, passed the bar, practices law, and he couldn't tell that I was comparing 3 items. This happened with Joey Diaz. The number 1 comment in that Joey Diaz exposed video is, Xanax isn't an SRI, you fucking idiot. Because I said, I don't want my comedians on Xanax. I don't want my comedians on SSRIs.
Everyone's pressing 1, by the way.
Everybody went, Xanax isn't an SSRI. It's a pleasurable. And I don't understand why they couldn't tell. I was making a list of things I don't like that are similar. I didn't realize that I had to say all the mini words in between to make it perfectly spelled out. And it is missed by so many people that I go, that's why I'm asking, is it a weird Chicago way of speak that just doesn't compute? So watch the chaos that ensued from this. And even right now, there's people go, yeah, right, that's just an excuse because you got caught. I mean, this is the trouble. This is why I brought this screenshot up to begin with, because of this sort of trouble. This is QAnon.
About the lawyer, they're saying he passed the bar, but he couldn't pass the red bar.
Exactly. My eyes! But wait till you see how they reacted to this. Boys, these are the scum of America's bottom floor. And they found community It's the most dangerous thing happening today.
Alt-right.
Okay, now they cut to this beautiful clip. It cuts to two of the guys from the screenshot. Welcome. And this is AZ, Heelves Babyface, and Nerdrotic. One of them has DVDs and figurines, and the other one has, everything from Comic-Con in his background. I've never seen, only Casey Neistat had so much going on in his office. This is crazier than Casey Neistat, but it's all figurines. Now, the two of them, all I said is, they're scum. They collect DVDs and figurines. This is their reaction to the clip that I just played. It's the most dangerous thing happening today.
Alt-right Proud Boys. What a fucking dickhead.
Here's the other guy, the lawyer.
So apparently...
There's more, don't worry.
Yeah, watch.
There's a guy named Mike David.
This is the lawyer.
From Red Bar Radio. They're doing a multi-stream.
Chrissy Marr. Look at the balls.
The balls. That's kind of funny.
Oh.
That's kind of funny.
Watch this.
Hey, everybody. This is Sheila with the Red Bar Radio.
That's just the intro.
That's just the intro.
Just another clipping channel. The clipping channel that brings you Red Bar in HD 1080p 60 FPS. Only 1080 from now on.
Thank you. I appreciate
No more
that,
720.
Sheila.
So I was watching Red Bar Radio live on Valentine's Day. It was a 10-hour show, and I tuned in around the 4-hour mark.
But right when I tuned in, it was interesting because Mike pulled up a picture of a live stream with 9 people in it who I'm very familiar with. These are my people on the internet. They're part of my dorky, nerdy community, Fandom Menace, and Comicsgate. These are Star Wars fans, bitter Star Wars fans.
Oh, they're Star Wars fans. Finally, a group worse than the Proud Boys. Imagine being a fan of Star Wars. Now I get it. Fandom Menace instead of Phantom Menace. Wow, look at this. It's all starting to make sense, except for the lawyer. What is he trying to do? Sue the franchise? Because of how much it sucks? I hope. This is crazy. These people assume, and you'll learn this later on in the clip, these people assume, and by the way, I apologize to these people, and there's a huge apology coming to all of these people for the misunderstanding. I'll even say, even though they stupidly misunderstood me, I'm sorry for labeling you that because people still took it that way. And who would want to be labeled that? And for that, I'm sincerely sorry. And I'm sure you're very nice people. But I hate Star Wars. And they assume that I know about the goings-on this show. What is the show called?
I don't know.
The Star Wars show. You know very well what it's called.
The Mandalorian?
The Mandalorian. They assume.
Gino Corrado.
Gina. Now, what's so interesting? I start talking about Gino Bisconte in my clip, and the clip that I was showing was them talking about Gina Carano, who was fired from the Mandalorian show for being a conservative. So do you see the mix-up here? But did they just say, it's a simple mix-up, it's okay, let's move on? Well, let's find out how they handled this. But more importantly, I already made my point about these lists that I make and how they get confused. Can somebody explain this to these people before they create 9/11 Part 3 again?
We're mad about the direction the franchise has taken. And as you may know, the Mandalorian actress, Gina Carano, who plays Cara Dune on The Mandalorian, was recently fired by Disney from her acting job simply for being a conservative on.
I guarantee it won simply. It's never simply, all right? Believe me, she was doing the nasty, all right? That's like saying Gavin McInnes was simply taken off Twitter for being a conservative. Hand to God. That's all he ever did. Okay.
On the internet.
Wait, I better say I have no idea as well, because these guys
refuse to learn what her
I
tweets
have
were.
No idea. I'm just
know.
assuming, okay? No one simply gets removed from all of the internet for doing nothing.
The type of stuff that Chrissy Marr and Josh Denny like to latch onto. So yes. Chrissy Marr was on their live streams. And I'm a moderator for 3 of the people on the screen there.
Wow.
They all know me. So now Chrissy Marr has been streaming with these people recently because there's a crossover between Chrissy Marr's cancel culture specialty topic that she likes to talk about. There's a crossover between that and the Star Wars fandom.
Wow.
So I kind of feel like Chrissy Marr might be a little bit grifting into, trying to tap into this online.
More importantly, they've created this industry about complaining about cancel culture. It is the gayest thing they've ever done. All right? Nobody should worry about cancel culture more than me. I have more right to worry about it than any of you. Yet I don't sit here and make it the show. You've made your whole life is running in circles talking about this one subject that you're scared to death of, that you do nothing to contribute to even be in trouble for. And you go around and round and round, and you collect up more idiots as you spin. And somebody needs to come in and shake the people and wake them up and go, it can't be about cancel culture year after year, day after day, minute by minute. Just say what you want to say and cross your fucking fingers like me. Or come up with a plan. But simply talking about it and raising donations is not enough.
Territory, because these people regularly have 3,000 to 5,000 viewers live when they're live streaming like this. Mike wants to poke fun at them, but they're not who he says they are.
He has been on a delusional...
I sent you one of those screenshots you were talking about.
I got a screenshot here. This one?
Yeah.
Let's see what this is. Waiting. Do people know what I'm talking about here? Here, look at this. Okay, so she's going to show the clip again.
So apparently...
she's going to show the clip again. It kind of goes back and forth, but we want to get to how they reacted. We've all seen the clip. Now, let's see this reaction here.
That's her talking about
Yeah, that's what I'm going to show. Here, check this out.
Right, Proud Boys. When they are anything but.
Here. On see how they weaponize this whole... And if Sheila's here, Sheila, you want to say something? Because you're confused too, it appears. I mean, you're the one who started this whole thing by tweeting about it. So, Sheila, does my explanation make sense, or is it a conspiracy? Do you understand now that I was doing a 3-point list? Or do you think I was still calling them Proud Boys and QAnon and that I'm lying now? I'd love to hear from you. But let's hear from her in this video. Here. Political thing. It's very frustrating.
So I thought it was pretty funny of Mike to be hyperbolic and label all of them as QAnon, alt-right Proud Boys. When they are anything but.
She thought I was being funny.
And I thought they might get a kick out of it. And they did. I posted it on Twitter, and the post kind of grew.
This is what she posts. Mike David of Red Bar Radio mistakenly accuses fandom Mena streamers of being alt-right Proud Boys without having watched any of the stream himself, only seeing a screen. This is what you do as a fan? You get what I assume is QAnon to all get mad at me? Are you out of your mind?
She's trying to drum up some excitement.
These are the people I fear the most, and you're trying to get them all on my fucking ass? Are you out of your mind? What kind of fan would do that to me? Here, I'm a fan of Tom Green. Let me go to his house and start lighting the house on fire. I'm a fan. I'm just doing a fan activity. Arson. I don't get it, but I'll allow it. Imagine that. I'm allowing it. You're here. I still like you. Not copyright striking you or anything. It's amazing. And these guys, they because they're hearing a girl's voice, you forget that it's insane. Well, let's hear some more.
Its own. And a lot of them got a kick out of it. And then a lot of them were pissed.
Watch what happened here. Look at these tweets.
And a lot of them just don't understand Mike. And a lot of them are still confused as to what is he? Is he a troll?
Look at this.
Is he just,
Look
it's
at
just
the people.
funny to see. So I got a kick.
Now she's scrolling through Twitter, showing the thousands of what I consider to be the scariest people I could think of, all retweeting my video, saying he slurred through pontificating, made me laugh the boosh. And I mean, they're going insane.
He wants to silence others.
Look at this. He wants to silence others.
To laugh a couple different ways. I got to laugh at them.
Who the fuck is this loser?
Laughing at Mike for being so out of touch and
is this idiot drunk?
Wrong.
Yes.
And the fact that Mike didn't even.
They own DVDs. Clearly not. That's what they took away from this. Not one person in this scroll goes, I think he was just making a list. I don't think he was saying you were QAnon. Not one person.
and watch their live stream to know what they are talking about.
Who is this irrelevant guy? Does he know? He has no idea what he's talking about.
But don't forget, people like this only listen to content where the guy they're watching is going to say something that they already know, going to say exactly what they expect. So when they see somebody saying something unexpected, then they just can't.
Well, these are the
people like the quartering. They're coming on
these are the
saying
people,
what they want to hear.
No. These are the people, though, who are mad at the PC people for being what? Offended. Okay. These are the people who go, what are you crying about, Snowflake? All I did was call you the N-word to your face and say you should be killed. Stop whining. These are the same people who are offended by a mistake list. And if you want to be offended by that they collect DVDs part, which you are, you have every right to be. These are the people who want to say the N-word out loud. But if it comes to making fun of DVDs in their Star Wars, I mean, Conan O'Brien was right about you guys.
There's some humor in that. It's pretty funny. But then
Look at the tweets.
I also got the laugh at the fact that nobody gets Mike, and he's such a hot topic, a button pusher, because none of them know who he is, yet he ruffled all of their feathers and they all shared his post and it became a content for them to share in their live streams. They found it interesting or whatever. It's just funny. It's funny to see.
Wait,
but nobody goes to Mike for the
Go back, fuck, I wish you
what?
could scroll up. There was a funny one where a guy mentioned something about being Catholic.
This is what I call slander, defamation, and libel. He never even did a basic research or watch our shows. This is what these people are saying. These are supposed to be the guys who are so much...
Keep playing and I'll tell you where to pause.
Smarter than the rest of us.
Button pusher. Because none of
literally every single person on that screen made more money in the past year than Mike David has in the past 5. Boomer.
Whoa.
And again, this is why I was saying.
them know who he is, yet he ruffled all of their feathers and they all shared his post and it became a content for them to share.
Well, you could imagine a stupid soy boy like him saying that, buy figurines or something. It's something bad to the franchise we love. Okay, probably this motherfucker never take care with SW and just come with his new and then they hit like on this. Yes. Why is a lawyer hanging out with that? Whoever wrote that, the lawyer should hate. This is like when Gavin hung out with the dumbest retards from the Proud Boys. This is what I mean. They're all hanging out with each other, and if they're not retards, well, they're definitely allowing retards to be in their same group.
There's a better one, I swear.
Okay.
In their live streams, they found it interesting or whatever. It's just funny.
You don't see Catholics using autistic as an insult or insulting bald people. Such a wretched, scummy, and villainous individual, jumping to conclusions without knowing any of the facts to promote their woke agenda. This is the way of the left.
You don't see
and then they post my clip. Could you be any more
That's my favorite
crazy?
One, for sure.
All right, enough with the reading the tweets. Let's get on with this because you got to see their reaction.
Fast forward to the guys. You'll be able to see it in the preview.
Well, yeah, it's coming right up. Here.
It's funny to see. But nobody goes to Mike for the facts or the news. You know, you go to him to hear him talk shit. Like slander and defamation is a big chunk of what he does for a living.
Oh.
So I guess it's to be taken with a grain of salt.
That's what you think.
These are not QAnon, but I don't think the people that were streaming with Chrissy Mayer.
By the way, nobody's QAnon anymore. You could go up to the guy who's got QAnon leader tattooed to his chest and you'd be like, you're QAnon, but I'm not QAnon. I just believe in the truth. So, yes, we understand QAnon now is a tarnished label and all the QAnon people are no longer QAnon, but they have the exact same beliefs. So there's that.
Understand that she has tried to latch on to the QAnon thing. And I got a bad first impression of her from Mike to begin with when I watched his episode about how she stole Christmas presents from people at the mall.
So, yeah, if any of you guys are watching all these big streamers who hang out with Chrissy Marr, and you see this, you go, okay, I understand this mistake that we made. We're sorry too, Mike. Well, now you all just learned about why Chrissy Marr is the subject of the show, and that's because she steals Christmas presents from families.
Not from the mall stores.
Not from the mall stores. She steals presents from families who are out at Christmas dinner, She tells the story, admits to it, and then when we tell the story, she lies and pretends it never happened. So the girl you're hanging out with, she's like a kleptomaniac that steals from personal families.
You guys are Catholics,
I
right?
thought you were
love
Catholics
Christmas.
and Christmas.
Imagine you open your eyes on Christmas morning, your kids run downstairs, they start crying.
Literally,
they go, Dad,
this was
Dad."
the night before Christmas. Chrissy
Our
stole
presents.
kids' presents because she wanted to see what was in the bag. And you could find that clip on YouTube if you want. I'm sure somebody could get you that clip. And the girl that you think is your good new friend, again, a kleptomaniac who steals Christmas presents. Some kid goes, Mom, where are the presents? They go, we didn't have it. It ruined their whole family.
They
That's
spent all of their savings on those presents.
That's Antichrist. All right, let's continue. You got to hear what these guys from the screenshot had to say about me.
And they could turn out to be really expensive sweaters, and she admitted all of this. It's kind of scummy. You know, if you're that kind of scummy, you need to be funny enough to make up for it. Otherwise, I'm not interested in you. You can't just go around talking about cancel culture. You never got canceled. You're just not funny. So the three guys that I'm actually a moderator for ended up playing this clip of Mike on their live streams the same day. So let's take a look.
Have you heard of Red Bar Radio, Gary?
Nope. What is it?
No, never mind.
All right, again, here, the bald guy, furious. The nerdier guy with the beard, I think, kind of knows that that's not what I was saying, but all of his friends are on this, so he's got to kind of go along with it. I feel like he's got a little bit of hope in him. I like a guy like this. You know, to me, that's not even what I call a nerd. That's a nerd. The big fat guy there. This guy is like, you're kind of cool. You know, you got a look to you. You know, Weezer. We're just calling us Weezer now. Settle down. Free speech. Remember the whole free speech movement. Okay, listen to this.
Mike David of Red Bar Radio mistakenly accuses Fandom Menace stream. Well, this is from Sheed Radiance. Accuses Fandom Menace streamers of being alt-right Proud Boys.
Wow.
Without having watched any of the streams himself, only seeing a screenshot. There's a screenshot of the quartering, Yellow Flash, that Star Wars girl, Tom Connors, myself, you, Chrissy, Quarter Black, and Nick Ricada discussing the Gina Carano situation. Alt-right Proud Boys. What a fucking dickhead.
Wow. This guy's eating his sub.
The fucking level of mental fucking illness that we have to fucking deal with.
I'm mentally ill? No, you're mentally ill. Do you see this? What's going on? Who's more mentally ill? Me or him? One of us has to be the more mentally ill one. Otherwise, the world can't possibly be working correctly.
We should get Dr. Drew on to do a
test. All right, so let's listen to this. They're extremely mad.
Level of mental fucking illness that we have to fucking deal with, people. From these absolute buffoons. Should we play it?
Yeah. Listen,
play this clip,
I had the guy I sold my shop to called the entire group that I'm part of alt-right. Guy I've known for 10 years.
So a lot of people call
Oh,
you
a
alt-right.
lot of people. You know,
let's see.
we weren't
this
so
is
far
what's so
off.
funny about it. They go, they're so mad at me and appalled, but even their best friends are saying this to them based on their appearance.
That's not even what we meant.
Based
okay.
on no, he goes, same. A week ago, the guy I sold my comic shop to me accused me of being okay. Well, maybe you have a what do they call that? Like a PR issue here. I'm so everyone calls us QAnon too, and I'm sick of. Well, what are you doing? Let's see how they break down my clip. It's quite tremendous. And again, I'm willing to let this all. What a mistake. It was just.
We apologize to you.
And we apologize to you, of course. We don't think you're that. We don't think you're the Proud Boys. We do think maybe you have some QAnon beliefs. But I will only know the answer to that if you take my test, which I hope you'll take. It is multiple choice. It is Scantron. Would you agree to taking a test with some very basic questions? Basically true or false questions about events in American history. And then based on those answers, we'll decide if you're QAnon or normal.
It should be easy.
It should be easy. If you're not QAnon, none of the questions, you wouldn't get any of them wrong. And then I'd tear it up and go, you're free to go. I got to come up with this Scantron. Please help me. I don't know any of the QAnon things, but maybe we could create this in the Bringback group, a Scantron test. Oh, you're not QAnon? Please, will you take this quick 5-minute exam?
Sounds
I know it's
very fair.
That's a lot to ask, but we'll even send you a number 2 pencil. Let's hear how this goes.
So shall we?
Be cool.
See what it says. It will say season 19, light mornings, red something.
Bar.
Red band?
I sent you one of those screenshots you were talking about.
Where? This one?
Yeah.
Let's see what this is. Do people know what I'm talking about here? Okay, so they're playing the clip again, but they're going to talk about it in between. Look at this. This is what they're doing. This is what the losers are doing now because they can't be losers alone. Look at this. The horror. Chrissy Marr. Look at the ball. And I want to. It's the most dangerous. I screwed it up. And I want to say, this isn't us like fighting with you. We think this is a tremendous piece of art. You know, this is iconic to what we do. And when we see a reaction take place like this, listen, if I could go back in time and stop it from happening, I wouldn't. Thank you. I don't want them to think, oh, no, now he's, we like you. We actually think you're pretty cool now.
Go to like 9 minutes, I think.
9 minutes in. I fucked it up. I went back. All right, 9 minutes in, and it will hear their response. It's very cool.
Worst people. Look at the boards.
Wait, go back
I was
a little
the Tom and me.
Little bit. Okay, here you go.
Be cool.
See what it says. It will say season 19, light mornings, red something.
Probably bar.
Is it red band?
I sent you one of those screenshots you were talking about.
Where? This one?
Yeah.
Let's see what this is. Do people know what I'm talking about here? Here, look at this. This is what they're doing. This is what the losers are doing now because they can't be losers alone. Look at this. The horror. Chrissy Marr. Look at the balds. Look at these fucks. They all collect DVDs and figurines. These are the worst people that we could... Autistic people, Hostbuster.
They collect DVDs and figurines. They are the worst people.
Yes, I still stand by that. I do apologize for the Proud Boy QAnon part. But I still think you're the worst people for the DVDs. That should come as shocking. I took a study this week, and it turns out 90% of the U.S. population believes DVD collecting is buffoonery. Buffoonery was the number one descriptor of that, and I don't know if you ever got the memo. I mean, I would think all the stores closing and not selling DVDs would be a great,
wake-up call.
Wake-up call to the fact that this is no longer done. The figurines as well is very, very, very stupid, and it doesn't even give you joy. You're just hoping that if you have 1 million of them that you'll finally reach the joy point. But you know that when you get that figurine and you unwrap it, and then everyone sees you have it, and they don't care because they have it too, then what? It's not really doing anything. It just makes your room look like a kid's room in not a cool, good way. So that's that about the figurines.
Not in a big way.
And I know, and here's the other thing that people don't want to do. When they've invested their time into something, we're seeing this happen with politics where you go, well, now they're just straight up ignoring the facts, right? Well, yeah, they've invested so much time in the right or the left that they would look stupid to leave these beliefs behind now. They've gone too deep. It's the same thing with collecting figurines. You've spent so much money and time. You can never admit, not even yourself, that this sucks and was stupid and was dumb. It's okay. No one's going to judge you. You can throw those all on and go, I was gay then. It's better that you've learned and evolved than to just dig your heels in and keep doing this. It's going to lead to nowhere except a plastic explosion one day. All right, let's hear some more.
These are the worst people. Look at the balds. I was Tom and me. I thought I was going to say I'm the only bald person there. But I'm bald. I have male pattern baldness.
Yes.
So that makes me whatever, some deviant according to him. And we collect DVDs and figurines. They are the worst. Let's listen more to this clown.
No, what's his name?
Whoa.
Fuck.
They're on such an off path. They're so far off. Good. And historically, we would have ignored them. They were always silenced and sentenced. And then they're like, silenced! See? He wants us silenced! This is what's happening.
I mean,
look at his face. Look at his face.
Silence.
Well, I want you silenced in the way like, see what they've done with this cancel culture? You can't want people silenced anymore.
I mean, is it illegal to want someone silenced? There's a lot of people that should be silenced.
I know, like, didn't you ever want someone, haven't you ever heard the term shut the fuck up? That's like cancel culture before this all happened. Telling someone to shut the fuck up is silencing them and censoring them. Now, I'm sure you've told someone to shut the fuck up. That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to get you to lose your income. It's a figure of speech. They should be silent. These people shouldn't have internet access. These people are this. These people, don't you understand? You got so many DVDs. Are you understanding the movies that you're seeing? You have Batman behind you. You understand he's not really hurting that Joker. Do you understand? You would think a guy with so many comic books would be smart. That's a lot of reading. I've done it again, with this player
fuck?
here. What time were we at?
I don't know.
Just try to remember my time. It's important, Jules.
I know.
All right, 10:30.
I think I would get that's a complete
because these
guess.
guys got some funny shit to say.
Let's hear what this.
Let's go.
Oh, that
This is the Proud Boys. These are the scum of America's bottom floor.
Get this guy on.
I'm British. Thank you.
Wow.
Scum of the British floor. Thank you very much. You racist.
Okay.
Assuming my fucking nationality. Probably pissed.
Sorry, you were so fat. I assumed you were from America. I didn't know they had somebody that big in Britain. Or do they even know that you're there? Have you left the house since Brexit? All right, let's hear some more. And I don't mean to make fun of you, but you got to learn to roll with this stuff, bro. Don't be so serious. Haven't you ever heard of your favorite cartoon character, the Joker? Why so serious? Here, I'll put it in terms that you could understand. Don't be so serious. That's the Joker. What about this? Hi, everybody. It's me, Lois Lane. Do not be serious. Does that? Remember all the superheroes? You don't see the superheroes sitting around making these streams complaining about being called names by the villain. Hey, everyone. It's me, Batman. I'm so sick of Pumpkinhead or whatever his name is. He just keeps saying that he wants to kill me and how much of a fag I... Even that is less whiny than this. And you still wouldn't see Batman do it. Batman just goes, I understand how they could hate me. I gotta get him, though. Still gotta get him, and it's an understood... And if anyone should know, there's an understoodness between villains and heroes. Whichever, if you want to be the hero today and I'm the villain, or vice versa, it's still, we're supposed to respect each other to a certain level.
Before you go, who is this again?
I've no idea. This person is.
They like
hold on, let me,
I want to know who this guy is.
I'll open up a separate.
I want to know who this guy is.
Mike David of Red Bar Radio.
Red Bar Radio. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, for one, I mean, Red.
For
He's
one,
never heard of us. Let me guess.
It's like, guys, you got to have something in the chamber before you fire a blank. You're so quick to say an insult to me, but you can't think of any. This happens all the time with mic coverage. They'll pause after I said something about them, and they'll go, "Oh yeah, well, yeah." It's like you got to have something though to say. That's the difference. When I pause, I don't go, "Oh, well." Anyway, that's called defeat.
Radio. Is it actual radio, or are they just a web?
I got it. It's just the name is Red Bar Radio.
Yeah, it looks like it's just I don't think
Sheila says his audience are not leftists whatsoever. He's a chaos agent with hatred towards everyone.
Yeah, and that's not even a true thing. I go after people that are stupid and liars. And people that I find funny
I would
to
call
laugh
you a
at.
chaos agent.
Sure, a chaos agent, but it really blows their mind. No. He has to be a leftist in order for this to make sense. We can't possibly just being made fun of for who we are. You know who else used to do this? You know who else does this? Cameron Esposito, a.k.a. a lesbian. Anytime I would make fun of her, it was because I'm a lesbian. Okay. He's making fun of me because I'm a lesbian. Oh, it couldn't just be that I don't like you regardless of the sexual thing. So for you guys to fire off all the time, oh, he doesn't like us. Well, we lean more conservative, so he must be a liberal. It's the ego behind thinking that someone can't just not like you based on your look, based on your hobbies, your interest, what you choose to do with your time. That shows a magnificent wall. And it must stop.
Oh, I don't care then. I don't want to.
Watch this.
I don't give a fuck about him then.
See, he's smart.
Have you
See, that guy's smart. He goes, oh, he's just a chaos agent, then I don't give a fuck. That doesn't bother me then. If this was a politically driven thing, that would bother me because that's unfair. But if this guy is just doing it, then it's okay. So he knows it. He is almost smart enough, but these guys, they had planned the speech because they got so offended that they're going to keep going, even though, okay, maybe it's not that. So let's watch.
Anything about him? No.
He's an internet web dude. What's his YouTube?
Web
Here, I'll just go to
dude.
Social Blade.
Web dude.
Well, Gary, you
It's a little
can't
wild.
talk because you have figurines
Look,
I have
and
figurines.
DVDs. So you are the worst scum, QAnon proud boy,
Yeah,
something.
this guy might be doing just a bit, and I have no idea. You never know. You never know. He could be just fucking trolling right
or a
now.
list.
Should we carry on?
I wish he could have just been making a list. No, it's a bit. And that's what Sheila thinks. I don't know what's going on, so it must be a bit. I don't know. This guy and his bits. That's what people think. He's doing a bit.
I don't know.
Let's carry on.
A found community. It's the most dangerous thing happening today.
Hold on, whoa. Open discourse
Listen.
on the internet for anybody to watch.
Cheers, guys.
That is the most dangerous thing today. Open discourse, communicating with other people, talking, discussing your points, agreeing, disagreeing.
Yes.
This is the most dangerous thing.
Yes,
Yes.
I think if
Enough discourse.
enough with disc. I actually do think it's dangerous because you don't know what you're really talking about, and you've got hordes of other people who don't really know what they're talking about, and you've created your own separate society. That's why I compared you to QAnon and the Proud Boys. You've created this thing where you only listen to yourselves and no outside input. I do think it's dangerous. It will come clear that it's dangerous eventually. Now, when I say dangerous, does that mean you need to be stopped immediately? Not yet, but I still do think it's risky. Something's wrong with it. I could tell you that, and I know that guy in the top corner there that they'll say, isn't he constantly, all I hear is bad things about him. But who am I to judge? I do know Chrissy Marr is really, really bad. I know this guy from Crowder must be really, really bad because Crowder is really, really bad. So I know that these two are very bad. So when I see people hanging out with two people that I know are very bad, well, I'm suspicious at the least. You two are probably innocent, though. You're most likely just dumb, not evil. So let's hear the rest.
Today, folks, the most dangerous thing. And this guy sat on his own, fucking smelling his own farts in his fucking echo chamber because there's no one else here to fucking talk to him. But we're in open discourse with multiple different people.
Multiple bad people.
But hey, I have figurines and DVDs, So I am the worst of the fucking worst. This guy's a fucking lunatic.
Yeah.
Lunatic.
And they almost know that what they're saying is nonsense, but that's them on the clip.
Gary.
Yeah,
This guy hasn't even watched any of our stuff. His producer or whoever, maybe his fucking care worker, probably, has put this image up. Everything he's saying is projection and assumption. Everything.
Ooh, fake laugh.
See, the other guy is like, shut up.
The other guy's like, I think we could move past this pretty much. And then you do a fake laugh to cover up some pain? A big laugh? You know, now I am actually concerned about this bunch, okay? What's going on, man? This can't be, again, it's like, Gavin, I can't be your biggest nightmare. Aren't you guys like fighting in the trenches all day with some really heavy topics? Certainly being insulted about the figurines and DVDs is the least of your daily war worries. To agree with it, it's really weird. It's like when you see Gino promote the Proud Boys and pretend. Oh, here, this is where it got screwed up. I'm talking about Gino, but this clip was about Gina Carano. So they think I am talking about their clip. Do you see this? This is just a big misunderstanding, sir. Just a great. They're not great. I don't hate great people. I stand by that. That's a great line.
I don't give two shits.
Look, his commentary. I don't give two shits. Yes, you do. You give four. I don't give two shits. Did you think that one through even? I don't give two shits. I mean, look at his face. Oh, I'll zoom in because he's a little small, which is oxymoron. I don't give two shits. He's lost himself in the content. I don't give. And he kind of bails on the shits part because he's like, oh, fuck my inner monologue. Yeah, let's hear it again. Because like that, you should be thinking that's yourself, not saying that out loud. Here, let's hear the commentary. When you see Gino promote the Proud Boys and pretend that they're just a great. They're not great. I don't hate great people. All right?
I don't give two shits. Fuck. This guy's a narcissist.
Look at the gears going. How slow do they go? Chugga, chugga, choo, choo. Speed it up, bro. It's not that hard. I could look at you. I didn't even have to hear you. I spelled it out. You know, you could show me any guy, and in 1 second, I could do an hour on him, and it pretty much lines up. You're sitting there with all those DVDs. You would think each DVD should be like a memory bank. Don't you consider yourself smarter than me? Certainly as a nerd. I thought you guys were brainiacs. Let's hear some more.
Me. I don't...
They like that two shits part. You know, I don't do stuff like that. I know who's shit. I know who's full of crap.
Without listening to anything.
Yes.
Without watching anything.
Exactly.
You got it.
This is all off a fucking screenshot.
Exactly.
Yeah, and this was like a throwaway thing that I didn't even know. Like when this all started blowing up on Twitter, it took me about 4 hours to figure out what was going on. Because I don't even care or know. You think I knew who the fuck I was pointing at? You know?
I didn't even remember that this happened.
No, this is just a blip in our show.
Very drunk.
And, you know, for you guys to go ham like this, you exposed yourself and even your own fans. They're all laughing at you. You know, everything we do on the show now kind of, you know, with the Saison thing last week, who, you know, I like him dearly. I actually think he's a great internet character. I don't want you guys to go after him and report him. I think he's pretty funny. But you know, it's like, it's starting to happen on this Red Bar where, you know, the ending is always kind of in our favor, no matter what now. The ending of everybody who's on my screen, it don't end well for the people on my screen without even me really doing anything anymore. just being myself. So I think somebody upstairs is starting to notice and starting to give me some gifts.
Ever since you turned Christian.
Ever since I turned Christian. Remember that when I converted to Christianity? So, you know, it's it always works out in the end here. I think there's a marvelous moment here, as nerdy as this is. You know, some people, don't get in the weeds with these guys. I like these guys. You got to see what the lawyer says. Let's hear some more.
What other people think of Red Bar clips is like my favorite thing.
It really is, because we always think, you know, we're just talking to the guys. It's just us and the guys. Then when you see people from outside of Red Bar, I don't understand, because I watch back Red Bar all the time. Perfectly reasonable to me. Everything that I hear myself saying makes total sense to me.
Remember that long emailer guy that we read his big long
email? Zen Rhino.
He tweets to me the craziest stuff like every single day. Like yesterday, he tweeted me a thing where he's like, interesting, hypocrite Mike David makes fun of Tim Pool for wearing a hat, and he's also wearing a hat.
Yes, this is really what we're talking about here. And it's got 81 likes.
Oh, yeah, and he keeps trying to post this video where from like 5 years ago of Mike making fun of Joe Biden. Yeah. Like he thinks that that's a burn to Mike because Mike's a lib
These
now.
People think, because I don't think COVID is a hoax, that I'm a lib. A lib that goes ape.
Anyways, I kind of like his tweets.
Yeah, we like his tweets. But again,
rocks.
I mean, these are the people. I mean, this is a guy. He goes, hypocrite Mike David made fun of Tim Pool for wearing a hat. May I present to you Mike wearing a hat? And it's like,
whoa.
But again, it has 81 likes.
I like him, though.
And these people are all,
no,
wow.
his tweets don't get any likes.
Oh, okay.
0.
I just
but I still
think
like him.
that it is a concern that people are kind of this off, and then they think we're the ones who are off.
This world, huh?
So that's why it's like, I would love to have a third party brought in, but who would they even listen to? It's to me, that's what I mean. It's the most dangerous thing in the world going on. It's this group of ultra confident wrong people. And yeah, it is QAnon. It's these guys, and it's the Proud Boys. Kind of actually don't apologize. Let's see some more. I do apologize.
Gary. Please. He already knows. He knows us inside and out because we got DVDs and figurines.
Wow. And these guys are bad. And they shouldn't have internet access. And today we're going to show you some of the grandest delusions of all. I hope that doesn't impress you. See, and then they want to go, he's trying to cancel us. That's what they do to me. I mean, come on. Do they even believe that? They don't know how people talk. Can't you talk in a way anymore? But I don't know what can be done. I don't know how we could fight back without looking like it's political. This is the problem.
What are you fighting against?
You.
Free speech? Open discourse?
Imagine calling what you do on the daily open discourse. Have you ever thought about like how gay this all is? Didn't people used to like pick on people just for being queer, like in the sense of like, oh no, it's open discourse.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, aren't we? Do we have any standards for what's cool anymore? You know what I mean? Imagine if I called what I do like, open discourse. I know. Are you running for hall monitor too? Like, are you that big of a teacher's pet that you would say something as atrocious as open discourse? I mean, listen to what you people have become. Again, your favorite guy says, why so serious? You're so serious. All of you. Everyone on the internet with this politics and the Trump and all of you are anti-abortion. Why are you so serious? This has been my problem with all of these groups to begin with and all these fucking people. You all turned from people who like to, remember like back in the day, 4chan used to be about like funny stuff. Now everyone's so serious on every side and everything is about the facts and everything is about open discourse. Shut the fuck up. Look what you've become. Shut up. Why so serious? Isn't that the best line you've ever heard in your life? Don't you have it tattooed in your arm? with fucking clown paint? Don't you dress up like the jokester? Don't you have him framed in every room of your house? Why can't you take his best line and listen to it?
What do you have a problem with? None of us are QAnon. None of us are fucking Proud Boys. So your labels are fucking bollocks. What are you worried about? What are you trying to censor us for? Discussing Gina fucking Carano?
Yes.
You are mad. You are tapped in the head, sir. You are crazy.
I don't like the UK and the Americans doing crossover
I don't like the way
shows.
that this guy is speaking to us right now, to be honest.
I mean, you know, this is how Logan must feel when KSI goes after him. Yeah. These guys from the UK YouTubers are off a little bit, man. They don't. The UK YouTubers are off, right?
It's like fucking Christ.
I mean, guys, calm down. Don't you ever listen to Drake?
You've seen a fucking screenshot, made up a bunch of shit in your head, and now you believe it. That's the worst fucking thing. You believe it. You're crazy.
Whoa.
Jesus fucking Christ. Maybe.
I think you meant to say beans and fucking rice.
The other guy knows.
Shouldn't be talking
that
about our
guy...
American godson. By the way, Jesus was an American, not from London. He thinks I'm from London now. It's London, the old you. Shut up. It's called a show.
Jeez.
I mean, how do you watch one of your superhero movies? You must be going nuts, pausing every second. Hit the green button. Excuse me, a man can't fly. I mean, how do you get through one of these action movies if everything is so fucking serious to you?
Believe it. You're crazy. Jesus fucking Christ. Maybe lay off the fucking alcohol.
Yeah.
Maybe you've got a problem.
The other guy's like, I'm not this stupid, but I will allow my friends to be. I can't get in another friend fight.
Go to a 20-step clinic. Gary will fucking sort you out.
Oh, Gary?
He'll fucking put you on the right path.
Let me guess, Gary's this is Gary? Are you a recovering alcoholic, sir?
Damn.
How does it make you feel that I could drink with ease? No problemos in my life-o. Ever-o. You know, these people think I'm like entrenched in life drama like them. I come here, I say this, and then I go camping. There's no problems outside of anything. And this isn't even a problem. Are you out of your mind? But in their world, like, this is all they're doing. They're on Twitter having a war with everyone every day. And God knows what's going on in the private messages.
The anxiety they must be suffering.
The anxiety every day is a war.
You guys should try a drink.
You guys should try drinking, talking shit. And
loosen up a little. It's fine.
Then you just go on and you do your thing. You know, this reminds me of like 2006. You know, Podcast Alley.
You can add 8 more steps. It's cool.
Sure.
I only drink Buffalo Trace.
That
reminds me. You want to have one?
I'm going on my YouTube channel.
I don't drink Buffalo Trace
have one
anymore.
with me and do a song, and then I'll show you The Lawyer. I think this is pretty funny. If you want to watch the full video, it's called Revenge of the Nerds.
Yeah, just
versus
remember,
Redbar.
this is like a half hour long.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. No, we can do whatever we please. Remember what happened last time, Jules, when you got involved in me. So, did we hear from Sheila? Is she around?
I don't think so. I haven't seen.
Well, I'd love to. If she comes in the chat later, just say, Sheila, go back and watch the show. We'd love to hear from you about what you think this whole is. Let's fast forward to that lawyer. John Ricketta, Nick Ricketta, and these guys, I mean, they've tons of followers, big names in law casting. There's a couple. Who's that other guy? Is like a money guy. That little guy, remember that little guy who showed Faye's Ruggs house to us? That little guy on YouTube?
Yes, Graham Stefan.
Graham Stefan. Ooh, I like that guy, too. He reminds this Nick Loretta. And you know he's a lawyer because he's got all these dictionaries here and encyclopedias from when I was in 6th grade. If you have a bookcase like this, I got to suspect you're up to something. This is all on DVD. You don't need it in book form. Remember when people used to get encyclopedias from the grocery store? Every week, they'd come out with another letter. I only made it to letter D, I believe, before I gave up on that. He's got these law books. Any lawyer that presents their law books in the background has got to be up to something. This is all you should have in the background if you're a lawyer. One iPad with all the law books installed. You shouldn't have the physical books. It's just crazy. So, and a lawyer should never wear a T-shirt. Haven't you seen Curb Your Enthusiasm? What the hell is this? It's Casual Friday. What, you don't like? Remember that? You're fired. No lawyer of mine wears a T-shirt. You look ridiculous. I want my lawyers wearing suits.
I sometimes have done this.
It's been on a delusional.
I sent you one of those screenshots you were talking about.
Oh, that's
where?
I keep thinking
this
that's
one?
you.
Let's see what this is.
Okay, here, the lawyer.
Do people know what I'm talking about here?
Let's just hear the lawyer.
No.
Because I'm getting sick of this.
Here,
myself.
look at this. This is what they're doing. This is what the losers are doing now because they can't.
Look at what they're doing. Look at what they're doing, these losers.
They all do the same thing. Repeat and laugh. Repeat and laugh.
That's a big, even people
That's a
like
big
Cody
tell.
Ko, who
Cody
are
Ko.
super famous for like messing with people
Yeah.
on YouTube. Half of the stuff and people are like,
He's
so
a genius!
removed. He's a genius. But half of the stuff he does is just repeating back what the person on the
Repeat
video just said.
and laugh.
Which, of course, we all do that sometimes, but
it really
that
shows.
can't be your
It's like,
first thing.
again, don't hit that pause button unless you have a plan. It just shows you're defensive. This is like the cry face emoji, which they finally came out. Did you see this? The cry face emoji, which I've been calling BS on for years. I don't need the article, but they wrote an article. It's over, folks. The cry face emoji is a tell. It's a sign that you're not equipped to deal with what you're being told. So you cry face emoji, it's a mask. You try to trick people and think you're laughing hysterically. You ain't laughing hysterically. You're deeply offended. And you don't know what else to do. This pause and repeat and laugh is the same thing as that bogus cry face emoji.
They're doing a thing.
Be losers alone. Look at this.
They're
The
doing,
horror.
They're doing a multi-stream.
Chrissy Marr. Look at the balds.
The balls.
Well, roasted again. Hey, guys, again, $200 gift card. We're very sorry. And thank you for accepting our apology. Sheila Aliens, we need an explanation from you.
I don't know why I was born, but there is something about the state of Israel that connects deeply to me. To have the privilege to stand with the Jew is a tremendous honor, spiritually. So I want to read a letter that I wrote that I am sending to the state of Israel. To Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and the honorable officials at the state of Israel. In this moment, I have chosen to ask you for citizenship in the state of Israel. I have nothing to offer but my voice of support. And some might say that my support might be more valuable as an independent voice. Perhaps they're correct. But my request for citizenship is not about words, it is about deeds. Why, one might wonder, would I want to embrace a heritage and identity that is so ruthlessly hunted down again and again? Yet it is precisely during such moments that we must choose to stand. I anticipate no privileges or exemption from the state of Israel. I instead yearn to align myself with those willing to rise, to fight, and sacrifice for the fundamental right to live. Is this not what both Israel and America embody? 10 years ago, I took my children to Israel for the first time. But we first visited Auschwitz in Poland. I told them, you cannot understand Israel without the Bible or Auschwitz. May Israel remain an eternal flame of hope, a beacon of resilience, and a testament to the enduring human spirit.
We advertised that we were going to have a debate between Ethan Van Sciver and Blaze's own Eric July. And we had to cancel it last second, right before the show.
Everybody wants to know about the drama. They want to know why you caused this and why you would pit Eric July, an employee at the Blaze, against his arch nemesis, Ethan Van Sciver, who I happen to be friends with. We're big Ethan Van Sciver fans here. We really are. He's only been nice to us.
This past weekend, he started being critical of Eric July, who is a Blaze colleague. Eric is a colleague. We obviously had to bring that up because it'd be kind of awkward not to. So I
we were going to defend Eric.
Yeah. So this was my next text. Alex is obviously planning on defending you.
Not sure what he's thinking.
I know for a fact that he was aware of what really happened between EVS and Doug Ten-Napel. I DM'd him a bunch of the receipts years ago. He replied to them and asked a few follow-up questions, so I know he saw what was going on.
Was definitely the same for Rekieta, because he knew what was going on with the kids and drugs.
No shit?
Yep.
Does Dick just not care about that kind of thing?
Fuck if I know. They're both libertarians, right? They probably think coke is okay.
There should be some new label for libertarians, because I almost thought I was one, until I saw all these internet libertarians who are all about doing hardcore drugs around their own children.
Yep, there is a name for those ones. Lolbertarians, laughing emoji.
Oh yeah, that's true. Although that might apply to just any libertarians, I don't know. How many of these YouTubers are having sex with each other anyway?
All of them. Dude, did you not know?
What?
All of ISWV were having sex and drug parties at Matsuri. It's why they went there.
I haven't heard anything about that, but I never followed that stuff. I guess I'm not surprised, considering the catfishing and dick pics that ended up leaking, and how close they were with Rekieta.
It gets way worse than that. They were doing drugs with Nick, that's why they wouldn't criticize him until he got arrested. Nick's polycule is nothing compared to what the rest of them do.
Did you hear about that from someone who was in their group?
No, it sucks to admit, but I was there with them. I was doing it too.
Oh.
Yeah, not proud.
I'd hope not. No offense.
None taken.
Someone should expose this, because all I hear about those people is what saints they are for going after Rekieta when they were clearly doing the same shit he was.
I tried, but no one wants to listen. And every single one of them in the YouTuber community does it. All of them are on drugs, or wife-swapping, or swinging. Every single one. I even tried to find one who doesn't do it, so they could expose this stuff, but all of them do it. It's not even a matter of them not wanting to talk about it. It's that all of them are involved. Almost all of them see it as okay as long as no one finds out. So they all want to keep covering up. It's driving me crazy, because I feel like I'm the only one who sees anything wrong with it. Like even if their fans found out, they'd say it's no big deal.
Until a drama streamer decided to milk it, you mean?
Yeah, if Kino Casino doesn't say anything bad about it, no one will ever think there's something bad about it. So it's like no one cares otherwise.
They probably don't. I mean, I don't want to make you feel worse, but I do know what that's like to be the only person telling a truth about something when no one else wants to listen, and it sucks.
Yeah, that's why you're the only one I can tell, I guess. I used to look up to those people, and they're all immoral, lying creeps.
Are you able to give names? Because it's easy to say they all do it, but that might not really mean anything if it includes the guy who picks up garbage or something like that.
It's YouTubers, specifically, who were friends with Rekieta and went to Matsuri, but I get what you mean. So, okay, Rekieta and his wife, of course. Nerdrotic. Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers. Eric July. Brittany Venti. If the YouTube guys had wives or girlfriends, they're involved too. Yellow Flash. Vic Mignogna. That one's probably not as surprising. But a lot of what was said about him was true, just not all of it. Quarter Black Garrett. Drunk 3PO. Critical Drinker.
You're still going? I don't even know some of these people.
Yeah, there's more. I'm just trying to remember them all. There's way more, though.
West Flores Park, Uptown, 2 weeks ago. Oh, this is the thing. I remember Dick Masterson was like, why would you start a comic 2 weeks ago? How about you start now?
Which is something you got from us, by the way.
Yes. Yeah, that was something we said first.
Yeah, there was something we used to talk about all the time for years before all of this is the 2 weeks ago, 5 minutes from now, later, all of the fucking just pointless timestamps.
When are you going
especially
to
in your
America?
opening caption.
The ultimate question, when are you going to America?
Yes. It worked for Max Headroom.
Later on.
Yeah. 45 minutes into the future.
45 minutes.
45 minutes. You have to say it like Michael Jackson.
So here we go. That's redundant is you see on the building it says West Flores Park, but then the caption also says West Flores Park. You don't need one of those to say it when both of them say it. You need one or the other.
I also don't know if
Uptown
they would
either. Uptown from where?
Uptown the city.
Yes, maybe that's the name of the city then. It's Uptown.
Upton.
Yeah, Uptown.
Or Upton. Yeah, that's what it's actually called.
There's a woman walking down the street who has a severe toothache, obviously, because her cheek is bulging, and she looks very uncomfortable.
Oh yeah, in the purple dress. It's just a smattering of people, and here's the question: is what does this actually establish to the reader that is relevant to the story?
This is the first page.
Yeah, it's what's called the page one rule.
Yeah, set up. What I learned, okay, when drawing stuff, especially comics, did you know that no page has to be boring, and like you don't actually have to have boring parts in your comic. Now I'm not gonna go crazy on this guy from page one here because this is, he's a special guy. He has
somebody's first comic. You can at least excuse that by saying, well, they don't know anything about making comics right now.
So they're just going through the motions.
$1 million or not.
Yeah.
Or $4 million, however much it was ultimately.
But who's counting?
Who's counting? But as far as it goes, like you go through the motions, like the page, the setup go on. It's established in the city. Okay, cool. Nice job. There's dogs, and there's a woman with a toothache, and there's Adolf Hitler as a security guard in front of the police. Whoa!
Clearly a Nazi.
Well, it's just that the undernose shadow. You gotta be careful with those, man. If you're gonna use spot blacks, you can't have the under the nose shadow be too distinct. Otherwise, Adolf Hitler is every other guy in the crowd.
Yeah, that's right. And I didn't even think about that because, again, you have a lot of experience making a much more experience making comics than really like everyone in Comicsgate, which this is technically as much as the people now don't want to admit it. This is the same ideology, the same people, literally the exact same people as Comicsgate.
Man, like fucking rats on a ship.
There's also Chris Christopherson in the middle there. The center
frame
is Chris Christopherson. That's kind of cool.
Nice.
Dude, that's so cool.
One thing, when the guys they're using perspective on this, a very very subtle perspective, and then everybody kind of looks like they're tiptoeing around and like taking baby steps, kind of shuffling like they're old and infirm.
Like, what about Bob? Baby steps.
Baby steps, Bob.
Baby steps off the bus.
Like fixing my entire. Okay, that page is boring as shit. Let's go to page 10.
Yeah.
Here we have. I'm assuming it's inside the police office. Yeah.
By the way, by page 10, you mean after all the variant covers that we went through. Technically, this is page 2.
Page 2. Here, I'll start with page 2 then.
Technically, this should be page 1 because it's the first page where anything happens. But I can only use that term loosely.
So we're in a police station, I assume, and they're watching on a television, and I believe they are listening to a political figure, maybe. We have seen violent crime decrease by 12%, and we're only 6 months into my term. Okay, it was a politician, I'm correct. And then Jonah Jameson is responding. He says, what do we have to do to get some credit around here? Oh, because the cops don't get credit for the politician, scumbag politician. See, that's how it be. That is how it be do sometimes.
It do be like that.
Mr.
Policeman.
And then a baby in the foreground says to Jonah Jameson, he says, well, he did finally reroute those funds. Former Governor Schrack. There's nobody named Schrack in the world, ever. I'm calling bullshit.
Unless it's some supervillain. It's a fucking Golden Age supervillain.
But I mean, the suspension of disbelief destroyed. It's over. It's over.
So that guy is
right now.
Former Governor Schrack. Is he actually like a supervillain or something? Because like with a name like that, you gotta probably okay.
No, sorry, you were overthinking it. You're overthinking.
I was. So former Governor Schrack left the South Side high and dry. So there's a little bit of. This is called Bants, is what it is. You get two guys talking about something so mundane that you assume it belongs in the setting.
Which is also have kind of to do with the rest of the comic. Actually, I don't know why you're reading this.
Going through the motions, like the people who drew this and wrote this comic. I too am going through the motions and reading it. And we can't forget. Okay, it's not a baby. It's a different guy with a mustache. Okay, so different guy with a mustache on the other side of Jonah Jameson says, and we can't forget about those masked weirdos helping us out from time to time. They've been killing it lately. Well, I guess now we know
like
that
a
they're
good
superheroes.
tell-don't show. That's something you really need at the beginning of your superhero comic. is people sitting around explaining things.
Extremely dull exposition, front-loading your entire story with it.
There is a phenomenon and this guy should know because he's dumb, that people don't read.
Well, then he
they don't know how to read anything. And if you do exposition for any reason whatsoever, I've had people ask me stuff about comics where I was like, well, I got a little greedy and I wrote one sentence into a panel. Then I've had people ask me about it later, and I'm like, I should never have written that sentence. It should have just been a person being whatever it is they were explaining. I should never, ever use words, ever. The whole comic should be silent. It should basically just be like
that's actually the smartest comics ever made are ones that are made with no words on them. Like Juicy is actually a perfect example because those are comics that have no words in them ever, except for maybe 1 in 100 examples that has one word in it. That's usually in Hungarian or some shit.
And then, well, what the fuck did they say? Well, you can kind of piece it together, you know.
Well, in Jusica, everything's laid out with the visuals. That's all you need. And those are like 3-panel strips from a fucking newspaper in like Eastern Europe in like the late 1960s or something.
You know, I think honestly,
everyone on the world reads them.
Soviet literacy rates were probably through the fucking floor. So anybody in Eastern Europe or anywhere that was even Soviet adjacent probably had to make wordless comics out of obligation.
Out of the necessity. But at the same time, then, to have them like 50, 60 years later become memes on the internet just because of how easily readable they are, that actually takes more intelligence to make a comic like that than it does to make a comic that just has a bunch of text all over the panels.
Yeah, having to wrestle with so many wordy people. It's very self-important to think that everybody's going to read what you write. That's a real pisser about comics. Is like you have to draw a fine line between what you want to say, and then you kind of have to edit yourself down, and then after about 10 edits, sometimes you just have to completely drop the idea that you're going to be able to get anything across. You can do it in like designated sectors where you like get a bunch of shit done and then it's time to rest from the quick eyes dodging around the page, and then you got a spot where somebody's probably softened to the point where they can read a little bit. Now, don't put it past people to be too stupid to read, but technically not everybody is your audience. So you have to understand some people, I guess, do like reading, and
also clogging the visuals up with just more and more text. When the text, also on top of that, the text has to be interesting. That's usually a good criteria.
And the most important part about text is that it is in itself an art form. So like if you don't have some sort of lyric to it or some sort of cycling pattern that people can kind of clue in on, that self-referential circuitously referential things that harken back to and then foreshadow other things, like that's a very valuable thing. But people don't treat words in comics like they're that. They treat them like it's the obligation of the reader to have to paw through all this fucking garbage that is frankly not informative in any capacity other than maybe it fills space and it paint by numbers kind of style, like gets a certain checkbox, a checkbox, like ticked off. And that's, I swear to God, anybody who doesn't have like many years of writing experience has no fucking idea that the words in the comic are actually supposed to, do multiple things other than just be there and shit in the panel. So if I
just space filler.
space filler.
What
And
I
so
would
when you
really
read a
say
comic,
especially is, if you're making a comic, the best way to do it is to attempt from the ground set to actually make it so that there's no words at all. If you can be wordless if you can succeed at wordless storytelling, and then you go back and you decide, does this part need words? It usually will need words somewhere. And that's when you decide where to put the words and what to put.
and you can get away with more words if you have a very particular writing voice, or if you're trying to, like, say, for example, I guess like words are flavor on top of the composition itself. And now I'm not saying
that's how they should be seen, certainly, is that they should be additional. They should be adding to what you're seeing instead of being the entirety of what you're looking at. Is if you just have people standing around, if you could replace the art with like a stick figure and lose nothing, then you're kind of wasting your own time. You're not telling a story. You're not telling a story, not let alone a story that needs to be told. You're just not telling a story at all, period.
If you're doing it where the first page of your entire book is just a bunch of talking about bullshit, the automatic assumption of your readers is quite simply that this isn't going to be important later. But if it's the first page, you are now also boring them and wasting their time. You're doing both at once. You're the only double duty this comic is pulling.
Well, it's also part of the main, one of the worst, just real quick though, one of the worst diseases of modern American, Western cape shit comics is that the expectation from the readers, the average cape shit reader, is that every panel, every page is just going to be a series of variant covers or pinups. They just want to see cover, sometimes with words on it. It doesn't matter what the words are, just as long as there are words on it. And that's all they care about. They don't care if the art makes no sense or has no establishing
their comic
ideas.
Needs to have words too.
Yeah.
Well,
they're just following the leaders.
It takes a long time to get yourself distinguished to the point where you actually are cognizant of the project. A lot of people can get into this.
It takes a lot of work to actually understand what you're doing when
A
you're
lot
actually
of these
making
people,
stories or
a lot
comics.
of these simps for him also are usually the ones you can tell the simp when they say something along the lines of he's great at making comics. Really? He's never made a comic. First off, he's never made a comic before.
Yeah, that was the thing, is that
this is
before the
clearly
comic
not
came
great.
out. That's what people were saying. Before the comic came out, people were like, this comic's going to be great. And it's like, he's never made a comic before. Like, oh, you're just jealous. And it's like, that sounds like a leftist argument, actually. It's weird. The people defending him made leftist arguments.
You can literally
it's funny
say
because
that about Biden.
That was Comicsgate at the beginning.
Oh, Biden won the election? You're just jealous.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, yeah, sure. Yes, I am jealous. He shouldn't have won. I should have won.
Yeah,
I'm
president.
I should be president. But unironically, that's the thing that people are ignoring is that they're not capable of making arguments. Just the same way they aren't capable of making memes. Like you and I, of all three of us here, we're going back to like a 2010 era. This is how we reviewed comics back in 2010. This is kind of the exact same stuff we used to say about like questionable content and fucking short packed and all that kind of shit, going all the way back like 15 plus years now.
Those projects are so rife with like derailing themselves for the sake of some dumb point that they're trying to shove in. Like just it was almost impossible to glean entertainment from them because they were so busy trying to say something and they were so obvious about it that I guess if you're stupid or you agree or you just like or you're young and you just, oh boy, everything's exciting. Like that's the audience that those kinds of people have. Is you should be so fucking lucky to get the young in on your shit.
I still say that Sluggy Freelance is better than their comics, though.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Again,
that
that's
I
going back to like the
started reading
90s
when
now.
I was 19. I'm right.
But this is the experience. I'm talking about the experience we have with like picking apart other comics, but also creating our own. Is that we have a lot of experience making comics that unironically are world famous more than even this one.
As novices,
not a joke.
people who
Princess
aren't
High Ground
pros.
is way more well known across the world than this comic even.
Why, yes, it is. It's a perennial favorite, you might say.
Yeah, people are constantly being like, "Oh, I recognize that," when they see Princess High Ground. A lot of them still don't realize that it was turned into a book. Like, oh, there's a book of that, and it's like, yes, for now, until like Amazon decides that it should be illegal.
They have effectively shadow banned us. So no matter how many times we mention the book, somebody else needs to step up for us.
Yeah.
Somebody who has a company that does promotion like they do for all the other big e-celebs.
Yeah, and that's the thing, though, is that all of them, they are working for, they're essentially working for YouTube. So they don't care about actual indie comics. They only care about the kinds of fake indie comics that they control. It's a really complicated topic, but there's a huge schism. It's a huge separation between the corporate-run fake indies and the actual indies. And the actual indies are still rife with like tons of faggotry and retarded bullshit, and in-group fucking tribalism and infighting and all this goofy shit.
Apparently also contains dick pics. Men sending each other their dick pics so that they have blackmail on themselves.
Yeah, which was another thing, by the way, that the creator of this comic was also involved with supporting and defending for a while.
They're pro-dick pic. These people are pro-gay faggot dick pic.
Yes.
Sex pests have to kind of cooperate, otherwise they lose
That's
everything.
The funny thing is, what happened with that, though, is that a bunch of them then turned against each other because Isom ended up being more popular than Cyberfrog. So now all of the people who are the same as each other, the people who are sharing dick pics with each other or, using them as blackmail against each other, are now split amongst themselves.
It was all for nothing.
The sex pests who support Ethan Van Sciver and the sex pests who support Eric July.
All black people are
all of them are still, like 99% of them are all still the exact same sex pests that were previously just on Comicsgate.
A lot, and that's another thing they'll tell you is like, oh, that was in the past. He's changed. No, he hasn't.
No, yeah, that's
and I don't need to prove it either.
Like fellow genius Dr. House said, people don't change, and it's true.
Remember,
those people haven't changed, provably.
Rambo 5. I never changed. I just need to keep a lid on it.
Oh, he's nice then. And remember, that movie sucked.
Yes.
The ending of it, at least, was better.
The ending, well, the murder castle is always good, but like just that one line, like, he can change, you change. I didn't change.
Rambo
that was a good part.
A way better movie anyway, just way more violent. He just blows people to chunks and shit.
Yeah. Then there's something really stupid about Rambo, like the general. Sylvester Stallone's a really good actor, but for some reason he succumbs to the shittiness of a director, like almost implicitly.
Script usually, but he shouldn't direct.
Yeah.
Although, I mean, did he direct? I think he did 4. Was it someone else who did 5? I think somebody else did 5, though.
Yeah, they just, if you stick them with a bad script, or if you stick them with a director who doesn't really know what wants them to do, there's been enough bad Stallone movies out there where it's just like, well, what happened to you, man? Like
the arm wrestling one, over the top. But Rambo 5, actually, I could clearly see from watching Rambo 5 that it wasn't a Rambo movie. It was just like revenge movie, and they just put Rambo's name in the title and put Sylvester Stallone in the role. But aside from that, you can tell it's not actually a Rambo movie.
I've never seen it.
It was on movie night like a year ago, and it was just, everyone was pretty much bored with it until like the last 10 minutes where he's literally ripping people's hearts out with his bare hands like Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. It's pretty.
But they're Mexican, so it's okay.
Yes.
Yeah. They're cartel guys. There's no sympathy. No sympathy. Blow up their
Although,
button.
like an hour earlier in the movie, he's letting them beat him up or something. It's like, yeah, this sucks.
I don't
That
want to see
suck.
That reminds me of Rambo 3, where it's like fucking the whole movie is just kind of silly. At least Rambo 2 is like, there's a lot I can get out of Rambo 2. I'm not going to claim that Rambo 2 is an amazing movie, but it's so watchable.
The first movie is like a completely different story, though. It's just about a Vietnam vet that was,
Kids didn't even. Kids had no fucking idea that Rambo 1 existed. They had no idea.
Everything was Rambo 2. Literally, it was so Rambo 2 that the only thing I really remember about Rambo 2 is the part where Weird Al gets on the helicopter and blows up the Eiffel Tower. That's what I remember most about Rambo 2.
It's good. There is definitely.
And while fucking what's his face from Seinfeld is going,
Michael Richards. Michael Richards going, yeah.
He's just so enthusiastic.
Too. When I first saw the first Rambo, it was so baffling to me, and I saw it in my 30s. So I was 30 something when I watched it the first time.
That was about the time I saw it too.
This is the most incredible shit I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was an amazing movie, but it was also like, this clearly isn't a Rambo movie until the second half.
That's actually the thing is, by that point in my life, Rambo had already become a verb. F4, don't Rambo.
Yes, fucking. It was like people exploding and him machine gunning hundreds of people at a time. And then you watch the first one, and he doesn't actually kill anyone
if you've ever
at all.
Seen the first Death Wish movie, it's kind of the same thing. The first Death Wish movie is a sober reflection on modern crime in cities.
Yeah, it's like a movie film adaptation of the Bernie Getz story, essentially.
Yeah, except that Bernie Getz was 1980 and Death Wish 1 was 1971. So I was like, why do we need to wait for this to happen in real
Holy
life?
shit.
Those gangsters, those gang kids in that one, all the silly, wobbly, goobly, wackadoo gang dudes, walking around, just all jive and shit. It was beautiful and refreshing, I have to say.
Yes. Including
Jeff
Goldblum.
Just
when you least expect it. Jeff
You're a rich cunt.
Screaming goddamn rich cunt.
Killing hipsters.
That's my favorite thing about Death Wish is the getting hipsters and punching them too. Just fucking the fake movie
we're
trailer.
Getting very off track. We're supposed to be talking about Isom. So anyway, back to the Rambo series.
Yeah.
Back to Rambo First Blood.
You guys, we have to read this boring comic.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Back to this text of people standing around talking.
Let's try and build momentum.
About Rambo First Blood.
Try and build momentum.
What I did once is I actually read the beginning of the book version of Rambo 2, and in the fucking preface for that, the fucking guy, the author, is like, I had it was going to be kind of confusing at first because at the end of the book I originally wrote, Rambo just dies. So now I have to bring him back. I have no explanation for it though, so just accept it.
Well, they did. There's an alternate ending on the DVD of him shooting himself that I saw.
They show.
There is an extra scene on the DVD of him with a big giant stupid mustache screwing some Saigon whore, and that is extremely interesting and valuable to our culture.
I don't remember any of that. That should have been in the movie.
DVD extra. Watch DVD extras. They don't put that DVD extra on YouTube, that's for sure.
Whoa.
Anyway, so just real quick to finish up this page, have you seen the chick with the red hair? She could do some things to me. They're dancing right now, big time. I hear Alpha Core hasn't been needed for months. And who is that new dude? And then Jonah Jameson, police chief, get the hell out of my office, you two goofball stinkers. And then they're like, oh, and then they leave. So now we are on officially page 11.
Or
boy.
Three.
Page
3.
Yeah, again, this is
to make this sound interesting.
We're dragging our way. Yeah, we're dragging our way through the first 3 pages so far.
Being
So
dragged
far,
through
nothing
mud.
interesting has happened, though.
Dragged across
well,
concrete.
the boss yelled at his employees. That's kind of fun. That's fun and interesting. All right,
But
so
I
let's
don't
see
know
what else.
why.
It's new and
Let's see what
refreshing,
happens
isn't
why
it?
it happened.
So some chick comes in, a lady cop, boss, and then she slams the door and he says, "Did you have to slam the door? You told me to keep this under wraps," says the lady. And then he hands her a phone, which
that why
has,
she
I
slammed
guess,
the
some
door?
stuff on it.
Or she's
And he's like,
showing him the phone.
and it's surprising because Chief Jonah Jameson is and then
surprise.
now we don't get to see what was on the fucking phone. It just flops to an earlier date. It goes from 2 weeks ago to earlier than 2 weeks ago. Earlier, Shadow Valley
Again,
outskirts
this is
of
something we've
Forest
been
Park.
talking about for like 15 years in comics, is the whole 2 weeks ago, 2 hours ago, now, then, earlier, later.
15 seconds from now.
Yeah, later and then now. The way that comic creators never understand how unintentionally funny that is, because comic readers don't understand how unintentionally funny that is, because the lowest rung of any sort of media consumer is the American superhero comic consumer. They have no standards and no
you
taste
remember,
and zero intelligence.
J. Jonah Jameson, when he was talking about like fucking, he was accused of slandering someone, and he's like, I take offense to that accusation. Slander is spoken.
Libel.
Print, it's libel.
Yeah,
Man,
libel,
what a
Peter.
great fucking
Slander is
line.
spoken.
Why
Yeah.
did I think of that?
Yeah, that's a great line. How come you don't see that in comic books? Oh, that's because comic
How
book
come you don't
writers
see
are
that
stupid.
anywhere here? I mean, this is an indie
Yeah,
comic.
where's the
There is
exactly?
no
Where's the
comic
spice?
code
Where's the
authority
interesting
telling
writing?
him that he can't fucking do this. He can do whatever he wants. It's his own comic.
Yeah, you're not
Is this the
limited by
best he can
the
do?
standards of the big two or the wokenati or anything. You can do anything you want in your comic, and you're still just having people stand around, go like, "Oh, did you see the latest news? Oh, that news is bad." Or
So
2 weeks
this
ago,
guy is it's hard to even equate this with like a standard comic because what
It's
it
just
is
as bland.
it's a really dopey fucking action movie from like the mid 2010s or something, and like it has the same kind of
DVD action movie.
Yeah, it has like the same intention, like a huge budget action movie, but with like no style, no flavor, no substance. And so like he's going through all the motions. Yeah, all the motions visually are like, oh, well, in this page we're at 2 weeks from before 2 weeks.
Of him. He's doing what's expected of him instead of doing what he wants.
And so, and on this page
that
it
is
shows
what he wants. Basically, this is a setup
that's the
for
problem.
some like small, very like Angel Studios to come in and say, "Hey, we'll make it." This is exactly what happened with Arkhaven. Is they had Alt Hero, and then they were like after a year, they were suddenly announcing out of nowhere that there was going to be an Alt Hero movie. And that didn't work out. It completely imploded. That's a whole other story.
There was no demand for the movie. They just decided they were going to announce a movie, which, as far as I know, is never going to be made.
And of course, Chuck Dixon was involved with the writing for that. And then, so that imploded. And now basically what's happening is they're just trying it again, but this time with Le Eben-based BBC as the writer. And guess what? Chuck Dixon is involved with the writing for this stuff too now.
But
I mean, he's just a writer for hire. That's the thing that nobody's admitting to is
We
that
talk about that.
he's just if you give him $1,000, he'll come up with just a script with your characters in it. That's it. That's all you need. He used to do it like 1,000 times a fucking.
He's in the Guinness Book of World Records for it.
Yeah. Unironically, he is in the Guinness Book of World Records for writing the most comic books in history.
Well,
because he would just take a
It sounds
paycheck
like a joke.
and then he would
It's
just
like,
hammer
why-
out a
why
basic
would you
structure
be
for
in the
some
world-
characters.
Why would you have the world record for the most comic book? Who the fuck gives a shit about the most comic book? Obviously, if he's writing the most comic books, a lot of them aren't going to be worth reading.
Yeah.
It's simple as that.
Yeah, just by pure attrition.
There's can't win them all, and especially if you're writing other people's concepts. I'm sure Eric July handed him a fucking cocktail napkin covered in spooge and like crude scribblings, and he's like, "You make this a story," and he's like, "Okay, yeah, I can."
And that's all you need is that and a paycheck.
And, yeah,
for at least for Chuck Dixon.
He definitely got a paycheck because the Blaze has a lot of money.
Yes,
they got money to waste.
I mean, there's a lot of boomers out there emptying their fucking social security checks.
Quality is irrelevant.
Yeah.
You don't need to make it good. You just need to make your money back.
But
so that
the really weird thing is,
continuing adventures.
Before this book came out, it had like YouTubers with like, millions of subscribers worth of subscribers all defending the book and claiming it was going to be great. And none of them had anything to do with the book, except for the fact that all of them streamed with each other all the time.
I was one of the few human beings on planet Earth who was like, I don't know. I don't see anything that's good here. And they all sent their audience after me.
We said that this is exactly like Comicsgate all over again, where everyone's claiming it's going to be great when they haven't done anything yet. And they've collected everyone's money. And again, the audience primarily was 50-year-olds. 50-year-old bald fat guys with fucking gray hair and no hair.
These are also, you guys are talking like 90% of the issue that you guys are running into is you got no hype. And these people are all hype.
Yeah, like it's all about they literally own a PR department. That's what their actual company is. It's not making comics. It's not even really making YouTube videos because they don't review anything. They don't review comics or games or movies. They are a PR company. And what they did is they had one of their PR guys make a comic book and they put it out there and declared it to be great using their PR machine. And everyone fell for it because ultimately that's how PR works, is that when you have a huge PR department going behind something, people will just fall in line because they are essentially lemmings or sheeple, if you will. People, you mean sheeple.
Yes, I did mean sheeple.
So are we on page 4 or page 3? I think this is page 4.
I have no idea. The one that takes place earlier than 2 weeks ago.
I gotta say, it feels like it's already page 30.
Yeah, I feel like I've been reading this for 10 hours.
I've been reading this my entire life at this point.
And yet,
so just to fill in the readers.
What has happened so far?
Fill in the readers, so that I can give it a fair shake. I don't want to be completely dismissive of things, even though I do use the black voice to talk for Eric July without intentionally doing it. But so it shows Isom. I'm assuming this is Isom. 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 All right. He is punching a punching bag, and his penis is going off, and it goes voom voom, and then he pulls the penis out of his. Oh, it's his phone.
And then he goes his dildo.
Yeah. So it's his phone, and he pulls his phone while he's busy.
Episode.
While he's busy being tough and cool and punching this bag, his phone goes off, and he pulls it out. Yeah, and he's short. He's short with people because he's tough and strong, and he's a dude, and
he's emotional and estrogen laden.
Maybe later on, I haven't found that out yet, but
he's not. So he definitely suffers from too much estrogen in the bloodstream.
Low impulse control apparently is also a major problem.
Yes,
or impulse control. Remember that from
by 1970. This will be our nation's biggest problem.
Yeah, we should do the snow crash thing with the Aleut who had poor impulse control tattooed on his forehead as like a punitive measure.
That's better than having damage tattooed on your forehead, for sure.
No, nobody can. There's no way to take that in a cool way. Damn it. Let's see here. So he's on the phone and some broad's calling him. I need your help. No. Avery, listen to me. Avery, this man's name. You remember Jasmine, Mrs. Newman's daughter from, oh my God. I haven't heard from her in a week.
Well, you're not thrilled by this fucking exposition?
Avery, she had an internship that ended last Wednesday. I told her we would make an offer, and she responded as if it was the best thing that ever happened to her, but now she's gone AWOL.
Is there a better way to write this dialogue, do you think?
No. Okay.
No.
In the context of the story, it doesn't take up huge amounts of the page, technically speaking. Okay. So, say for example, this is just an average phone call, right? You can make fun of it, but it's like, what else are they going to talk about?
Okay.
Well, there's the only thing they're trying to get across here is that I guess a girl is missing. That's fine. She's gone AWOL. Okay.
But also, her internship ended last Wednesday. I want to know what happened with the internship.
Oh, we better flash back to the previous Wednesday. The next page.
The internship.
Earlier.
Well, I mean, if this is Wednesday. Earlier than 2 weeks ago, does that mean she might have an internship again 2 weeks later? Maybe.
Yeah, maybe she's just taking a chill, and she needs to recoup her vibes, and she just doesn't want to. So she's turned off. She's unplugged. She's off the grid right now.
To be honest, if I'm looking at a comic, as soon as I see it at any point say X amount of time earlier, I immediately realize and notice, like nobody else is capable of noticing, as my track record proves, that the comic has absolutely no creativity or originality. As soon as it says X time ago, that I know instantly that there's no creativity behind any of the work in the book.
Now I haven't read enough of this comic to be as judgmental as I'd like to be.
You're starting this for the first time ever. That's one thing.
Yeah. I had no intention of ever reading this comic. I have no interest in stuff.
Well, even most of the people who praise this comic and have loved it and defended it have not only not read it, several of them have actually said that they think that this main character has the power of flight.
Well, let's find out if he does. Okay, so
not to spoil it, but he doesn't. He can't fly.
He doesn't. He can't fly, but he can punch and he can kick real hard, and he's got a bad attitude. Basically, he's Luke Cage, but but he's
Well, wait a second. You're proving that there's even less originality right there.
Oh, whoops. Well, I mean, if you're just a tough dude, that's what okay. If I could concisely put my issue into this, is that even at this point in time, there's no reason to be invested in anybody in the comic. And technically speaking, you should have some immediate stylish intrigue that kind of pops in, something unique about a character in just such a way.
Like a couple random people who have nothing to do with the story, just chattering in the first page. You should have the first page should be trying to either establish or getting very quickly to establishing why you should give a shit about any character.
This is clearly beyond the capabilities and the mental faculties of the individual who has slapped it together. They have no interest in that. This is just a cash grab. They're just going to write some slop. They're going to throw it in, and then they're going to pretend that they were proud of it.
Slop is a pretty good term for this. It's a pretty good descriptor.
Kind of seems about as generic can be. So to read more of this comic, okay, so he complains Altona, what the fuck kind of, all right. I'm not your errand boy. Call the law if you think she's missing.
I'm checking out even more. There's a character. She's named Altona, and what color is her skin again? I think I'm starting to feel the fatigue.
All right, this is really boring, but if I understand what's going on, nothing interesting, and it's just some broad calling him up, being like, "Look for my baby sister" or whatever. I don't know.
Look for a girl. In fact, you could have replaced this entire page with one panel with a chick calling and saying, "Look for a girl," and then he goes, "No," and then he goes, "Well, okay." That would be more interesting. That would be more entertaining.
It technically would speak about his character more.
Yes.
But anyways, this guy's just a kind of a hard ass. He's trying to be thorough about explaining why, but she's calling him for whatever reason that she's calling him for. Maybe he's sweet on her or something, and she thinks
I don't want to spoil it,
get
but
something out of her.
I know the story of this entire first issue, so I could say he's a superhero, but he retired, so that's why she's calling him.
So she thinks he doesn't have shit to do. You get up off your ass You go find my baby sister. And I know you ain't got no job. You ain't got no job.
You come out of retirement, motherfucker. She calls him a motherfucker. Just like in the wonderful Man of Steel, release the Snyder Cut, where fucking Superman calls Zod a motherfucker while punching him. You motherfucker.
Motherfucker.
That was a great part of that movie, though. That's my favorite part of the movie, where Superman calls Zod a motherfucker.
Does he actually do that? I've only seen the movie once, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Did somebody just dub that in? Like, motherfucker.
No, that wasn't dubbed in. He actually says it.
God damn, that's good.
No, you know what? He says something that sounds like it, and you can't really tell because the soundtrack, the sound of the movie is just constant explosions and roaring. And when it's not that, then it's like tinkly, soft piano shit, and people moping around and staring, like gazing at their shoes the whole time.
My favorite part of that movie was how like everybody died. Everybody died in that movie.
They destroyed Smallville and Metropolis. Millions of people died. Perhaps even more billions of people died. And then Superman's just standing there, and he's like, "Well, I snapped Zod's neck." And then he kills Zod for like the icing on the cake, just for one last murder.
You remember that comic that is like a parody where they showed like regular Batman, and it shows him like talking to the goth kid who's contemplating jumping off?
No, that was Superman. That was regular.
Oh, Superman.
That was regular Superman. All-Star Superman, where he's talking to a goth girl who was going to jump, and he's like, "No, it's true that your therapist was really late in traffic," and they hug. And then there's the Zack Snyder version where it just fucking explodes.
Explodes the whole building.
Which, unironically, not only happens, but they establish in the next movie, in Batman v Superman, that those exploding buildings collapsed onto children. And that's proven because Batman saves one girl from getting pancaked by fucking falling concrete. Those movies are wonderful. I still haven't watched the Rebel Moon movies, but I want to. I want to see more of that.
The thing is, like, there's so many people who don't know how to watch things correctly. Like,
we do.
Sometimes, you know how there's the bad good and the bad not good. So, like, we're trying to read this comic that's bad, not good. So there's nothing really to get invested in, nothing to get interested in. But then there's like stuff that's like Neil Breen or whatever. He's just some silly wackadoo who just
even Battlefield Earth is like so bizarre and such a fucking train wreck. That's kind of fun to watch.
John Travolta's like performance where he's just unnaturally fucking rageful the whole time. Like, he's just angry about everything, and you don't know. And like, then you realize
to conquer galaxies. He's very cheesy in that.
It's I can't even recall a movie that he was in where he wasn't kind of.
Yeah, to be honest. Yeah. He's fucking goofy. Even like Pulp Fiction, he's a little goofy in that, which is it's fun, of course, because that movie is entertaining, just straightforward.
I'm sure at that point Quentin Tarantino probably directed him to not be angry. Like, I want you to be kind of cool, groovy, easygoing Guido guy. Like, probably would, please do that.
He's chill, even after accidentally blowing Marvin's entire head apart into fucking chunky salsa that just paints the entire back of the car they're in broad daylight. Oops. Whoopsie daisy. Whoopsie.
Sorry. Okay, let's see here. Something, Mrs. Newman. Oh, okay, so I don't even want to assume that this lady that he's talking about is the chick, Mrs. Newman. Everybody did. She never missed a day of service. When Mom found out I didn't help her, she'd kill me. But I'm out here for...
It's a bunch of word slop just thrown onto the page.
There's no context for any of these characters being named. And I expect to figure it out, but we already got duped by that earlier with the lady cop showing J. Jonah Jameson her phone. He got surprised, and then we got transported back in time. So now we're going to have to wait to put that kind of piece together.
It doesn't pay off, by the way.
It doesn't. Oh boy.
No, it's what I think it's supposed to be is Yaira, who is yet another of the IP farm characters, just randomly made design as like she's going to get her own spinoff, and they're hoping that one of these IP farm characters takes off enough that maybe they'll get some kind of movie offer. Like if Isom is too boring for people, maybe Yaira will get the movie offer. And if Yaira is too boring, there's like 5 other characters that get introduced before this comic is over that have nothing to do with the story in this comic.
Oh boy. Oh boy. You know, you can have my comic's going to have infinite amounts of like dumb poorly inserted friends characters and all that shit. The thing is the focus of the story doesn't allow you to get distracted by them appearing. Like the way it's structured is like there's room for all of these cameos, and you're not
Common
wondering.
America does that, or Common America used to do that. Well, Common America actually they had to stop doing that because some of the people who were getting like cameos and references started trying to use it against people or use it against the creators and be like, you put me in the comic, but you're not doing it anymore. Why are you doing this? And, fucking being like, why are you fucking taking my side in this internet argument and that kind of shit. It's really
because Tim
pathetic.
Lim don't have fucking time to be chit-chatting. He's a working man. Tim Lim.
The thing is, they had to stop giving anyone cameos. They stopped putting references to anyone. Because of the few people they did that for who fucking freaked out and melted out down. They like Comic Hut is an example of that. And that
well, you can't spell internet without ingrate.
Yeah, that's very true. That's factually provable.
Factually spelling proof. Don't even bother spelling it. Don't even try.
It's demonstrable with extra demon.
Okay, team prepares gyms. It's so all right. Find my way back to that damn city. I skipped ahead of page, and it looks like he's flying. It looks like he's. That's why they think he flies, because in this one page, page 10 or something, whatever, it's 15 in the market. He's like stepping off of a step, and but it looks like he's like walking on air because he's. This is a big problem I used to have was using photographic moments. Because it's a realistic style, right? So you use a photographic moment. In this case, it's a fucking 3D model in their program that they've turned and traced over.
Which is very common in, Cape shit. That's not even that unusual. A lot of people made a stink about that, but to be honest, it's extremely common in American comics, so I don't really give a shit.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Although he does have, his eyes are closed like he's Chinese. That's
he is very Chinese. He actually has several squinty moments.
Yes, that's very bad. That's not good.
I don't really get it.
0.
Okay. Oh, man. So he went from back in time to somewhere you would not want to be on the next page. And some guy's getting thrown into a car. He had a cowboy hat on. He was blonde.
Is it still 2 weeks earlier, though?
There is no telling. You didn't think I noticed you following me? Alpha Core is en route. Alpha Core. Is that a guy or is that like a force? Like it
was one of the variant covers. It's yet another. This time it's a series of characters that get their own spinoff. I think that was the one that Chuck Dixon wrote. Was the first Alpha Core book, which there's only one so far.
All right.
So it's a superhero team.
Cops are looking up and they're gonna shoot. There's a shadow. That's actually kind of nice. There's like a little shadow on the street, and the cops are like pointing up, so you know that somebody's flying. And then one of them gets zow right in the head with a blast of water, and hold or we will shoot. And then I know you will, says the bad guy. And then Yaira. Okay, this is Yaira. This is the one who.
So here's Yaira.
He was trying to punch her in the gut because he didn't want pain. No, he ain't gonna be no baby daddy.
Yeah, and if it comes out in the second variant cover or whatever the fuck.
And if it comes out as
it's a black man committing violence, domestic violence against a white woman.
Yeah, what was it? And if you had that baby and it's a girl, it ain't mine because I only make boys. So there's your...
Possibly earlier he said, if we start play fighting and it don't lead to sex, I must start beating your ass for real.
But thanks for the reassurance, says Yaira. All the cops. I don't know why the cops are pointing the guns. I don't know what her deal is. Is she a bad guy? Is she a crime animal?
I still don't know, and nobody is really able. Nobody's ever explained that, because really nobody, even the other supposed negative reviews, have really ever dug this deep into why anything's happening.
And the positive reviews don't bring it up at all either.
No, the positive reviews don't bring up anything that happens in any of the books. That's why it was originally called the Common America Rule. Again, before ISOM ever came out, it was something to describe. Well, it's something we've gone over in our other videos that are on our Subscribestar, actually. So if anyone wants to actually know what that stuff means and what that's about.
Yeah, we've covered this in some detail.
Yeah.
So Yaira was getting shot at by the but then some green guy punches her, and then
but it's the same green as the cops, though. So it almost looks like it's one of the cops somehow is punching her, but it's
that's
not.
very cops. The only time I always thought the cops didn't wear green uniforms unless they were like municipal, like sheriffs and deputies and stuff. Yeah. I always thought the blue was kind of an urban thing. I don't know for sure, but
it depends
just
on the
seems,
city, I think.
Cops in blue, just you always go for when you're doing visuals. This is like one of those things where you're like, don't reinvent the wheel if you can at all, unless you have like some fantastic new angle that's interesting. Don't do anything unless it's unless it's interesting. That's
the main rule. One of the first rules of storytelling is, start your book where it's the most interesting.
Yeah, start the most interesting part of your book.
Let's see.
Yeah, unironically, it's like the page 1 rule is you should start at the most interesting part of your story at the very beginning instead of just people standing around.
Yeah, that's where your book should begin.
And again, that's like Kurt Vonnegut said that. That's not our advice. That's the established masters. Now I was going to say the actual masters, and then I remembered we're among the actual. We're peers with Kurt Vonnegut.
Yes, that's correct. I read. I read. What was it?
I read. What was it? Fucking
Harrison Bergeron. Yeah. Yes. I read it in middle school, and it changed my life.
Even though that's not Kurt Vonnegut.
It wasn't
close enough.
Well, wait a minute. Harrison Bergeron was too Kurt Vonnegut. Let's find
Kurt Vonnegut Jr. wrote Harrison Bergeron.
Oh, okay.
Kurt Vonnegut wrote Slaughterhouse-5.
Oh.
Harrison Bergeron. A short story by Kurt Vonnegut.
Does it say Junior?
Junior.
Junior.
I knew it. Don't ever contradict me.
No, believe me, I am not going to hold true to the fucking to any of these statements. I don't care enough.
Something my brother said is there's plenty of people out there being honest and factual and speaking truth to power, but I speak power to truth. The more I sit here and run my mouth and talk about nonsense and bullshit, the higher the chance are that you're going to forget something that's real and replace it with that bullshit that I said. So, it's pretty good way
I was just looking at it where I think it's in my fucking books folder, my books images folder, where it's some Playboy interview, and it's like you're implying that time travel is always possible because the time streams never matter, and then Kurt Vonnegut responds to, "You understand everything I say is bullshit, right?"
That's just his fucking ultimate response. Oh,
yeah,
of course.
The perfect response.
Yes.
Okay.
Back to the comic, though, I guess.
Yeah. So we get an ugly panel of Yaira because.
So back to
by the way, isn't it striking just how ugly her face is?
Yeah. Well, this is an ugly angle.
That was one thing we did on our Discord.
Specifically the drawing style.
We're redrawing the face, her introduction, because that was one thing I wanted for my comic. Is like, here's the main female character. Make her as hot as possible. She's got to be so idealized, if a girl doesn't get an eating disorder looking at this page, then we have not done our jobs correctly.
Yeah, she's ugly in this. Okay, so now we're introduced to Alpha Core, Braxwell, Brian Solari, and Ingrid Valdez.
She's been rotten to the Alpha Core.
Whoa, so they're bad. You have friends now. We figured it was you. You were told not to come back. Okay, so they have a history. A history nobody cares about.
No.
Half a mile away.
But yeah, they don't explain any of the history.
It's doing it again. Of course. See, now here's the thing. Now, question this: what did we need to see those previous 3 pages for? Why did we need to see those?
Because Yaira's a pretty girl, and they think that people will think that she's hot, and then they'll be like, "Oh, cool, fighting." So, like, we got to put some action in here, you know. So, some action.
Because if it wasn't for that, it would literally just be people standing around, wandering around, walking around, and somebody got a call, so he goes somewhere.
Talking to each other about the local news.
Yes.
Did you hear local news stories?
So half a mile away, this is still earlier from 2 weeks ago, I think.
2 weeks ago, 5 minutes from now.
Yes.
Yeah, and half a mile away. Half a mile away from somewhere you don't want to be, literally.
Somewhere where you don't know where.
All right, so Ism shows up at a Club Marrow, which is
that's how it's pronounced.
Bar.
That's how it's pronounced. Titanic.
You can pick your food up on the other side, my man.
I'm so glad we got to hear that. Let me see if he gets his shoes on. Yes.
Darren wouldn't happen to be around, so he's looking for Darren. He would have let us know if he was expecting someone shoot him an email. Oh my God. I'm an old friend. The name's Avery. I just have okay. I'm sure you are, my man, but you just can't you can't just waltz in here demanding to speak to the owner. I'm afraid you'll have. Okay, so they know each. Okay, hi, I see ugly looking brother on the security cam, and look who it is. It's Avery. I saw a main character. And next page.
They're gonna have an N-word moment almost.
Yeah,
say the N-word.
They are kind of leaning into it. They're gonna. Come on in, my N-word. I'll give you a tour of the spot while you're here. Yeah, he didn't actually say that, by the way.
No, but why didn't he? Why doesn't he? He's supposed to be the bad guy, I think. So why doesn't he just throw out some N-bombs? Maybe even the hard
also,
R. Who are you softening your dialogue for?
Exactly.
You have hard R, which is retard.
Eric July. You have the pass.
Hard R, N-word.
Actually, Eric July doesn't even need the pass. He is born into the station of being able to drop the hard R all the time, anytime he wants. So what he's doing here is perhaps aiming for a general audience in case some 40-year-old mother wants to buy the comic for her son who has hood rat tendencies and they live in, like, I don't know, Encino.
Yeah, imagine your mom buying this comic for you.
Probably more like a grandma, honestly.
Yeah.
I know how you like.
The first thing that mom or grandma would hear would be like, "This isn't Chainsaw Man. This isn't My Hero Academia.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you getting this from
me? This isn't Demon Slayer.
Yeah, this isn't Demon City Shinjuku. This isn't fucking Uratsuki.
This isn't Violence Jack.
Grandma, we like to read shitty comics made by money grubbing scumbags now who run hype farms.
I love the Blaze Media multi-channel network.
Yes. Yeah. Buy me something. Buy me something that represents that. I don't want to read manga. He actually claimed that he outsold manga. He claimed that this book outsold manga.
Maybe some manga. Maybe the I Love Curry manga. I don't know, but
I Love Curry probably has a lot of sales.
The black guy who wishes he was Asian.
Blasian.
Yeah. Blasian, yeah.
I know, what was it, Blue Chan or something? Peepoo Piss Chan?
Some shit Peepo like Chew. Peepo Chew, which probably still sold more issues too.
Well, yeah, you know what? you're still right.
But again, what exactly are the sales? They're the same sales as Cyberfrog. They were people buying an ideology, not a book. And that was proven before the book came out.
They did fake those
They're
numbers.
an isolated, captured kind of like it's not a market that gets bigger. I'm assuming it's the backers.
No,
the backers
the
who are
sales
in
dropped off. The sales dropped off with each successive issue of every one of these books. Comicsgate, Cyberfrog, fucking Isom, whatever.
So basically, they have a big farm full of fattened so-and-sos who are all about whatever the cause is, which
a specific form of cattle, if you will.
Yeah,
some
or perhaps
specific type of cattle.
Perhaps hogs instead might be a
They
more
need to make sure that they're raising appropriate slaves for Israel's future wars.
Yeah.
There's going to be some future wars for Israel in the future.
Future wars in Israel may affect you in the future.
Hey, if it isn't Avery, my brother, long live lasting peace to Israel.
Wait, it actually says that on the page. Holy
I love
shit.
these voices. These voices are so important to the fucking
voice.
actual-
Make sure you're doing the voices.
There's just so much there's so much. Okay, you could call this technically, you could call it world building. All right, any irrelevant dialogue is technically world building. All right, this is the absolute fucking most positive I can be about this is when you have errant banter. You're casting a lot of foreshadowing in all sorts of directions. Piss weak foreshadowing at that. But people say, for example, have you ever watched like a One Piece fan channel?
Have you ever watched DBZ ever? Yes.
Ever. And you ever watched a fan channel for it? You see these guys like going through and digging up little sentences and things that are popped up. Well, okay, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to set it straight. I'm going to bring it straight from the hood. All right.
Oh, shit.
So these guys, they'll dig through 10,000 comics to find little references here just to make sure they're consistently handled later and foreshadow. So technically, any line you drop is foreshadowing in a comic if you say it intentionally with a purpose to do something with it. But then I guess 90% of your little things turn into red herrings or they're just not important enough to develop upon. So you just you hope the audience forgets about a lot of that stuff.
Red herrings are a very big mistake nowadays.
Except for in
people are guilty of red herring their
with
audience.
the fucking exception of 21 and 22 Jump Street, where in 22 Jump Street they're looking for the guy with a tattoo and is like, that's the dealer, and they in the football team at the college, they're like, oh, what's that strange tattoo you have? And that one guy is like, oh yeah, my tattoo, it's from my high school football team, the Red Herrings. And they're like, oh, that's an interesting name for a football team.
The 21 Jump Street is a better crime drama than this.
Yes. It's a better superhero movie than this.
Than this.
So,
the movie.
Here's how this sounds cool. All right. So sounds cool. Okay. Remember when maybe you were 14 years old or something and you're writing a fanfic about Final Fantasy 7 or Sonic or something. And
no,
you were you had your, don't fucking lie to me. I know it. Everybody did it. Especially
Final Fantasy 7
you.
didn't exist when I was 14.
That's true. That
Sonic
didn't exist until I was 16.
I used to read Star Trek novels, the TNG and DS9 novels. I would read them though.
Yeah. So the way that
Mary Sue's come from.
The way that this sounds cool is if you're sitting and you have the intellect equivalent to a 14 through 16-year-old with severe mental deficiencies, and you have your headphones on, you're listening to I don't know, one of the two okay Marilyn Manson songs, and you get vibing with it. And and then everything you write is now emotionally tinged, and you're like, yeah, I'm feeling smooth. And so you get this big head about you, and you start writing all of this filler crap, this transitional stuff, but you think that people will dig your vibe, because oh yeah, it's gonna be from here. There's gonna be a high perspective, and it's gonna be like this. It's gonna be like a movie. It's gonna be so cool. So that's the only way that this sounds cool is in the head of the author. Then you hand it off to an artist, and he who has to draw it, and he's like, I guess if they're Brazilian, they're like, "Que como," or whatever they say in Portuguese. And then, but then you hand it to like, I don't know, a writer like Chuck Dixon or whoever who's supposed to polish this turd
Mexican.
up.
Well, what are you talking? What's this language you invented for Brazilians? I thought they spoke Mexican.
They certainly do not, and I had to learn that one the hard way.
Gee, that's not fair.
Yeah, no, it's weird because they're like the only country in South America that speaks a different language than the rest of the fucking continent.
It's wild because like Portugal actually hangs on and doesn't speak Spanish, and they're so small next to Spain. They're like, "What? Spain's just gonna fucking eat you one day, and then you're just gonna have to speak Spanish instead."
But now
I
they
don't
got
understand
Brazil.
it.
Now they got
now they have Brazil. So yeah,
that is a great example of why Spain should be embarrassed.
But
you lost a country against a tiny sliver of your own people who stopped speaking your own language.
A horrific defeat. I'm sure they still feel bad about that one.
Travesty.
Yeah. But
anyway, the whole vibe is, of course, lost. I mean, that's inherent in whenever you're writing. Even if you're not listening to music or something, however it comes out in your mind onto the page when you're typing it out, when it comes onto the page when it's being drawn, it's like, that's not how I saw it in my mind's eye. And it's like, no, of course not, because the way you saw it being drawn and the way someone else is going to draw it are never going to be the same thing, ever.
It's a 14-year-old. It's a 14-year-old fan fiction writer, or in this case, a 35-year-old black man.
No, he's like 40 something.
Well, nowadays, I think he's in his 40s. He started this in 2018, or
no? It was years after that.
It's really hard to like be put yourself in the shoes of somebody who's truly stupid. Like we're all of average-ish.
I can't do that. I'm not capable of thinking that far down to the ground.
Yeah, that many levels down.
But you have to understand, like, the Tard Whisperer is a real thing. So, like, some people, like, they know to kind of change the aperture of what they of how the stuff comes out of their mouth, so that people, because like I use I'm a somewhat verbose individual with a somewhat distinguished vocabulary, and like when I was a cab driver, never would I speak normally with any degree of eloquence. It was
I understand how to dumb things
down. You probably don't want to do.
That's an even smarter. That's a smarter tactic, though. Once you learn how you have to do that, that actually makes you smarter, and it means that you're smarter than somebody who's just dumb.
For a writer is to fucking try and show off your vocabulary.
Well, I think it was not Pig-like, but Bald from Penny Arcade was a perfect example of somebody who is too stupid to do that correctly, where he thought he's like, I'm a writer, so he's going to fucking abuse the thesaurus as much as possible and try and come off as much as this smarty aunt N-word as he possibly could. And that's an example of a stupid person trying to sound smart, whereas an actual smart person realizes sometimes you have to speak simply and clearly. That's something actually that Hemingway used to openly talk about as well.
That was actually another one of our peers. It was either the beginning or the end, like the autobiography of Benjamin Franklin, and the guy who's reading it, he starts with like a review of the autobiography. Who's they're praising him for being able to write in a way. He was clearly a genius, but he wrote in a way that was something anyone
clear
could
and
understand.
distinct. He would use straightforward language instead of trying to be too flowery and pretentious and purple and all that shit.
Yeah.
And that's why, in fact, that may have been part of the beginning appreciation of smart people writing in a straightforward and simple manner so that anyone could understand it. That's one of the things the guy said about Benjamin Franklin's autobiography, is that it's written so that anyone can understand it. And that was a good thing. That's why this is a good thing.
Oh, man. But you got to really sit on yourself sometimes to keep from using it. Here's the thing, like, I remember I gave a ride to a guy with he was from Britain, and he got into the cab and he had like a posh accent, and I took that as an excuse to maybe use like $3 words, and I was sorely fucking mistaken. Like something about him. You ever listen to that spiffing Brit guy? Like he doesn't speak the King's English. He has a posh accent. He has, but he like misuses like turns of phrase. Like, let's see, it's a chance I'm willing to make, or something, or a risk I'm willing to make or take. Or he says like basic things very wrong, and like,
well, it's also like a lot of them say infamous also. When they're talking about something that is really popular or really well known, they'll say,
I was trying to think actually
infamous.
fucking, I think it's Reykjavik. I hear that a lot actually. Whenever I hear that, a YouTuber who's like using a complete, if they're also clearly not being funny either,
yeah,
then it's usually like, oh shit, that was a big mistake.
That was a big whoopsie.
Yeah.
All right, so that usually annoys me, but at the same time, also, especially in English, it's like I can't really be too aggravated that somebody doesn't know absolutely everything, every last permutation of every factor of everything that's ever been.
Because the
in
word
English.
infamous these days does just mean really famous instead of what it actually means, which is bad.
What was the one that Dad would do all the time? Irregardless.
Yeah, irregardless. Yeah, he thought irregardless was a word. In fact, I think we made fun of him enough they stopped doing it.
I think actually, I think I did that once where it wasn't irregardless, but he did something like that, some other turn of phrase he clearly didn't understand, and I corrected him, and he got really fucking snippy about it.
Yeah, imagine your own son making fun of you for the way you talk. That's the kind of
I wasn't
cunts we always were.
Kept doing that.
Yeah, but English teachers in our generation like all got wise to it. They started like penalizing kids for the they would always stop to remind you that it is in fact not irregardless. It is not a word. That's like day one English class for all of us. But
badly is not an adverb. Who taught you English?
Badly.
It's a fucking get out, sleep badly. Sleep bad. What? Badly's an adverb, so it means that the mechanism that allows you to sleep. What, fuckhead? Badly's an adverb. Who taught you grammar? Get out. Just fucking shoes.
I believe they want you to say poorly. I think that's what they want you to say. All right, so we're going to skip.
I do not understand most of that shit. I went to English class up until my grade 6.
I blocked it out like a childhood rape.
Yeah, I never learned proper grammar. And now I'm trying to reteach myself
I
I hold everyone to the standard I myself never lived up to.
Well, we say that, but at the same time, when we're holding all these other people to a standard that we have evolved and ascended beyond, because when you look at the comics we've made, we already understand how to write for just general in a completely general understandable way. Like you look at Princess High Ground or you look at Literally, and they're written in a universal sense so that anyone can understand them. But like when Princess High Ground talks, she's a pretentious cunt. So she's going to try and be as pretentious and flowery as she can be.
We're not talking, we as the author are not talking down to the audience. That's another skill. These things just come naturally to me, though. These are not.
That's the thing.
These are not traits.
We're analyzing something that does not apply to us. This is stuff that doesn't apply to us because we already know how to do it better than what we're even talking about. We're just trying to think down to the level of generic cape slop cape shit.
You can get away.
I'm not trying to think down to that level. I'm still above that level.
Yes, on that without even trying to be.
Of the Cape Cuckers.
We're genetically super. We can't help our Hyperborean nature. It's just who we are.
Yeah, you can get away with a lot of highfalutin language if assuming the character's built into it.
Yeah, if it's about the character. See, that's the thing. Like I was saying with Princess High Ground, she just talks like that because she's a.
But you have to be mindful
if a character is supposed to be smart. But then again, how smart is the character? Are they so smart that they sound smart, or are they smart enough that they can they kick my ass? Can you outsmart a bullet?
Yeah. Well, then they can modulate their own intelligence based on the situation or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it also reminds me of the anhedonic from fucking, what was it, Deep Space
DS9. Yeah.
Hmm.
Which that could have been written better if
anhedonic.
Was it Ducat who asks Wei-Yun if he's anhedonic, or was it Wei-Yun who asks Ducat? But
I think he asked Wei-Yun, and then Wei-Yun's like, "You think I'm incapable of feeling joy?" And then SF Debris is like, "Well, somebody got a word-a-day calendar for Festivus."
Yes, for Festivus, which is funny enough. We referenced Kiss Kiss Bang Bang a few minutes ago, the fucking Badlies and Adverb scene. But I think not his next movie, but a couple movies later, The Nice Guys that Shane Black wrote. It's Russell Crowe has a word a day calendar, and he fucking takes the word and reads it, and he like tries to use it in a sentence, and the only sentence he can come up with is thinking about his bitchy ex-wife. It's great because every Shane Black movie has some kind of English 101 joke in it, and it's always funny.
Yeah, he does a lot of that. That is kind of the way I want to do it, is where I acknowledge that this is an esoteric word you might not be familiar with. And then my response to that is, look at the smarty aunt nigga. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Can you
my ass?
My ass.
But the DS9 scene, I think, would have been improved simply if Wei-Yun just said, "I don't know what anhedonic means." Then give Ducat a chance to explain. It means you're incapable of feeling joy. It's like, oh, you think that just because I'm not excited about bringing down the minefield?
Different languages over the universal translator.
Yeah, exactly.
Into English, even though no one's there doing that.
It should be fucking.
Know what that word meant.
Yeah. But in that scene, I guess they explain through the context, but at the same time, it would just work better if it was, one of them going like, I don't know what that word is. Tell me. Go ahead. Tell me what that word is.
The Metal Gear formula. Anhedonic. Anhedonic. Yes, it means that you're incapable of feeling pleasure or joy.
Yeah,
and then
joy. Pleasure or joy.
Purified hydrogen bomb.
Snake, do I seriously have to dumb this down more?
Yes.
Come on, man.
Keep going.
How many
dumbing it down?
What is joy? All right. So say you like eggs and you have eggs for breakfast. How would you feel? Eggs.
How would you feel if you?
How would you feel if you didn't have breakfast this morning?
Breakfast this morning.
But I did have breakfast.
Son of a bitch, Snake.
It was eggs. I love eggs. They fill me with joy.
Joy?
No,
he's asking himself.
I love eggs on my ramen noodles.
He starts circling around on his own. He's
the best food ever made.
Snake is like, when I eat eggs, they fill me with joy. Joy? He's asking himself. Eventually, he just starts questioning every word out of his own mouth. Oh, Snake, you lost it. Snake lost his shit.
Sorry.
Snake, you goofy.
Snake, you goofy.
You know, this... You guys didn't tell me that this comic has 100 fucking pages in it.
We definitely don't need to read all 100.
No, we're not going to. In fact, I'm kind of cashed out. This is kind of boring.
Yeah, it is extremely boring. I skipped ahead a few pages because they're like they're playing. They're like waving their dicks at each other, and they're like, and then he gets into a fight with like a big white guy with a big blonde beard, and then he punches him, and he flies across the something, and then like. Gets mad at the guy, and then he gets into a fight with all the other bodyguards, and like for some reason punches him. I think his guts explode when he punches him.
Yeah, it looks like it's some kind of cutaway.
Kill a guy. He straight up just kills a guy.
Like Superman. It's like Superman, where he neck snaps Zod so hard that a sonic boom comes out and blows out the eardrums of everyone in a 1 mile radius. It's pretty badass.
Yeah, it's not like this was some villain that needed to be exterminated. This is just a
guy who runs a club.
It's not even a guy who runs a club.
Oh, it's a security guy. Yeah, it's just a security guy.
Doorman.
Our hero is savagely beating them into a coma. Maybe to death.
So,
who knows?
Oh, so it's like a super bodyguard that he gets into a fight with later, who's like super strong, and like, and then beats up Ism, and then beats him up some more.
It's
then
short for Jism. That's his.
It looks like
very similar to Cyberfrog. He absolutely gets fucking bodied in his first serious fight.
Yes.
Nice. Well, he's going to show up later and fight him again, right?
No.
Oh, he gets thrown out, and then he crashes into ugly lady who's flying through the air, and they both fall.
In midair, both of them are flying and hit each other, which is, I think, like 1 in a trillion chance.
Yeah, no.
It's inherently comedic, but I don't think that's supposed to play that way. Oh, yeah, and then he immediately assumes that she did that intentionally somehow. Their accidental midair crash was somehow intentional. And he immediately wants to beat her up.
This is superhero 101 formula. Like, two of them meet up, have no context, and then have to start fighting before they can talk about anything. There's just some imminent danger in their lives that causes them to shoot first and ask questions later, and then they have to get into a fight for a while until some little kid runs up and says, "That's the nice lady who gave me my teddy bear back," and then Isom's like, "Oh damn, the nice white lady gave back the teddy bear. I shouldn't be punching her in the face." And then like, "Gee, sorry, God help it." That like the impulse control of a fucking toddler is what it is. Everybody has the fucking
of something certainly comparable to a
toddlers
toddler.
or certain other demographics.
Some other group of people comparable to toddlers. It also, that alone denotes the type of personality of the creator. Like, there are always little cues that a writer of anything gives away when they make something. When they make their own hero have low impulse control, and it's not a plot point that they have low impulse control, that points to the creator having low impulse control and being thin-skinned in real life, to the point of having public meltdowns and wanting to ban people and getting their accounts reported just for being made fun of on the internet, which Eric July did. And the rest of the internet has memory hold, including the people who don't even like Eric July anymore. They've blocked that out of their memories, like a childhood rape also.
Many childhood rapes associated with this comic.
Yeah, but
Hey,
what are the chances?
There's an advertisement in the middle of this comic.
You got to the advertisement, didn't you?
Oh, good. Good. You've gotten as far as I did when I read.
By the way, this comic was paid for up front. The payment for the books was before the book was finished and released,
and then there was a crowdfund to fund the comic.
And then they still.
Well, he would say no.
I was wondering if
wasn't.
I just wondered if it was maybe like some sort of the streaming site is inserting an ad page or something, but
like
I don't
some kind
know
of a diegetic advertisement for a product
let
that only
me guess,
exists in the comic.
Is this an advertisement for some black woman's jewelry?
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, no, it's for he doesn't say it, but it's for his wife. His wife has a jewelry store, and he put an ad for her store in the middle of the comic, even though he didn't need to run ads in his comic to get the comic funded or made or make extra money.
But
it was just to be a corporate whore.
If you are making a comic that has been demanded of you by a multi-channel network, that's how
Here's
you
the thing.
do it.
Yeah, if you have an advertisement in the middle of your comic that you like took crowdfunding or, pre-order money for, you are the same as Marvel or DC. No different. You're never going to be any different. By nature, by your
was the financing.
Genetic nature, that is what you are as a person from birth to death. You're not going to change at some point where you're going to be a different person. You are a corporatized whore by genetic nature.
He's never made a comic before. So this is so business for hire. Why is anyone saying this is good then? It clearly isn't.
Well, the people who
They
said
don't
this was
need to say
good,
it's good.
again, the common America rule. It's like, okay, well, what's the good part? And none of them would
What-
ever
yeah,
say what
what's
the
your
good
favorite
part is.
This was a giant controversy for the fucking Isom fans. Being asked what their favorite part of the book was considered to be hate speech.
Yes, they would actually start reporting people for that, but also on top of that, like Eric July would start doing video, like attack videos about anyone who even said that. And the funny thing is, in those videos, he defended Ethan Van Sciver. He was like, people are jealous of Ethan Van Sciver, who's a good person, and that kind of shit. And it's in a video series called Monetize Your Haters, and you can't find those videos on YouTube anymore because he covered them up. He deleted them and hid them.
He was ordered by his superiors, his handlers, to take those videos down.
Yes, his leash holders told him to stop. So he stopped making the videos, and then he also deleted them. He went into DFE mode, where he deleted fucking everything. Because again, in the videos, he was defending Ethan Van Sciver as well, because of some of the stuff he was claiming were haters, were also haters of Ethan Van Sciver, who now constantly is obsessed with Eric July.
Now they're enemies for life. Surprise, surprise, enemies for life.
Although don't be surprised if they make up with each other at some point and decide to have a redemption arc. Again, it's
is going to pretend like he's the bigger man. It's like, I apologize.
But
to,
the whole thing is just
Remy,
theater for the plebs. The whole thing is just theater, including making the comics. It's all just theater, and it's the under people who fall for it every time, as they always have and always will.
Welcome to the hype game, man. It's just about getting an army.
Exactly.
Let you have an army.
I understand that the economy is doing pretty bad right now. How much is your soul worth? How much could you get for your soul?
Well, I mean, if you're not capable of making anything good, it doesn't matter what the price is, as long as there is a price. And again, it's a PR company. It's not a comics company. None of these people run comics companies. They run PR companies. That's it.
It works perfectly. They're making their money.
Yeah. But they're also making money for YouTube, for Google. Like a bunch of these people make money complaining about Disney, and their money goes back to Disney because it's monetized on YouTube. It's the same megacorps are all tied together, and they again, it's all part of the theater, is showing you like, oh man, this Star Wars movie was so bad, and then you watch the video, it makes ad revenue. YouTube and Google take a big piece of that ad revenue, and it in some way or another works its way back to Disney, and they make more shitty Star Wars movies. And it doesn't even matter if they lose money, because they make the money back through these YouTubers who complain about it. Again, it's just all theater, and everyone else falls for it because they're people who can't pass the breakfast question. They're people who are wondering what those chirps are in their hallways for, the continuing years. Just every once in a while, oh, that must be the ceiling bird making that noise.
I heard something about pit bulls going crazy and killing people because they live in a house with a chirping fire alarm, and it just drives them insane. And I can understand that. That's actually a very plausible explanation.
That makes the pit bulls more sentient and able to notice things than the people who live in those houses or apartments, not houses, of course. But that's a shame. That's too bad. Back in the country, though.
I'm so far.
Brother, man. Did you go past that point?
I've been skipping ahead relentlessly. I'm on page 67 now, and it's the second fight between him and the superpowered bodyguard that kicks his ass.
Oh, they do fight again. Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah. So the good part, the only interesting part about the thing is that he kind of gets his ass kicked, and so now, but the problem here is that how does he get stronger I didn't read closely enough to figure it out, So maybe it's in the story, but like he kind of gets beat up, sits around for a few days
It's the
to
greatest
patch
strength of
himself
this
up.
comic, actually, is that it's so boring that any plot holes can be covered up by the fact that it's almost impossible to
even
pay
notice.
that close attention.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's a fake arc. What it's called is a fake arc where the heroes defeat, because that has to happen, where at the beginning the hero has something to overcome. They have a difficulty that they have to get past. And in this case, it's he gets his ass beat by, some super powered bodyguard. And then he comes back to fight again. Like in Rocky, where it's like, he has to learn how to be
I mean,
stronger.
you don't want him to be a Mary Sue because he does have superpowers, even though we still don't know what his powers are.
Yeah, his powers are just strength. But that was the thing, is that after this first thing, it even had fans of the book being like, wow, I can't wait to find out what his powers are and how he gets them. And it's like, you have your first book
We
out
know
there.
he
It's
can
almost
fly.
100 pages, and there's no explanation of what your main hero can actually do. Nobody knows.
Or
Not
why.
even the fans knew, but
They
that's
don't
not a
even- they
surprise
even
because they're
don't
not
even
really
know
fans.
why.
They don't really read comics.
Yeah, no, they don't count. They're not people. They don't really exist. They're dead internet.
Yeah, it's dead
It's
internet
dead internet
theory. It's the
theory
proof of
in
dead
full effect.
internet theory is people who like Cyberfrog or this, which there's no difference. In fact, it's really hilarious at the comic's expense how identical this and Cyberfrog are, because in both of them, the heroes just suck and they're not competent at anything.
They don't really accomplish. By the end of this book, which again I didn't even read past this part, he doesn't really accomplish anything.
No, it doesn't look like it. He manages to beat up the evil bodyguard guy. The cops, of course, want to arrest him because he's guilty of
Black on a Friday night.
Yeah, black on a Friday night, and then
Which he is guilty. He's
then
legitimately
He is
guilty. of that.
guilty. The cops.
and then he
Will the
runs.
defendant please rise?
Night.
No tires don't sing when you put chains on them.
The police. Did you already do the
No,
police?
I said the cop. Yeah, I said the cops.
The cops. Yes. My favorite comedy bit in human history.
The
which
Christmas
is
tree
just
had colored balls.
Just punchlines.
Oh man,
To keep
dude,
the children
another.
from jumping on the bed.
Okay, she comes see her more anyway. I know it's been a tough on you without Terrald. Okay, so I don't know if it's his sister or what, but the little kid in that one variant cover is his niece, and her name is Vassie, which I don't even want to know what that's fucking short for. Vassina, maybe.
Oh, is it like the Seinfeld?
like
It's a
that.
Seinfeld reference.
But her dad's name is Terrald. What? I know black people names. These are not. It's not black people names. These are made up out of a hat.
Yeah.
Even
the
for black
name
people.
Isom itself is apparently like my grandfather's name was Isom.
It's like, okay, so
Her
what's the
great-grandfather
character named
from, like,
Isom
100
in the
years
comic?
ago.
In the universe, I feel like it's in like adaptation. It's like, okay, in the universe of your story, how are the cop, the killer, and the girl? They're all supposed to be different people, right? Yeah. And so how are you going to portray that? Trick photography? No, that's not what I'm saying. Just fucking. It's just like the creator. It's very Donald Kaufman, where the creator doesn't understand their own intent, and you can't even explain it to them because they don't understand.
Part of the whole reason for that is because it's like, oh, this is way more. This is way more interesting this way. To just have it. Oh, here's just sudden plot twist. Why is there a plot twist? Because the audience won't see it coming.
Yeah,
and it's like, okay, but
I
it doesn't
agree
make
with
sense.
Mom. Very taut. Sybil meets I don't know, Dressed to Kill. Oh, cool! I like Dressed to Kill until the third act. Denouement. Not how it's pronounced.
Denouement.
This is how we're always going to treat people who fucking. This is from now on. This is how we treat people.
Yes.
Wait a minute. So I got up to page 81, and then the next morning is the next
You did that
time
quick.
frame.
You
But
got
it's
up to
still-
page 81 pretty quick. It's almost like you're not really paying that close attention.
I'm not. I'm not reading it. I can't. Well, if I read it, then I won't hear what you guys are saying. But what I'm doing is I'm trying to scan for like
that's
the
pretty much how
imagery.
we read it too.
Yeah, but so we are 2 weeks in the past, and then
also earlier,
and then
now,
and then a place you don't want to be, and then a half a mile from that place you don't want to be, and then the next maybe a couple of days past that, even though they didn't declare it because he got beat up the first time and he had to lick his wounds. Yeah. And then the next morning, and he's in some place called either Taylorsville or Waylersville.
It looks like Taylorsville.
Taylorsville, okay.
Oh, yeah, it actually says above the door too. I mean, not just above the stand, but above the door behind that. It says Taylorsville.
So we're there we go. So we're about we're still maybe 1.5 weeks ago, I think, maybe
something like that.
I have no idea what time. When does this take place?
If this would just say now or right now, even perhaps.
Yeah, right now.
But we don't know if it's now.
They never got to now. It's still not now.
It's still not now yet. No, it is not now yet.
It has yet to become now.
Later is now.
It's funny that other people started making fun of this. Other people started making fun of this in this book, but this is something we had been making fun of for years in comics before this. So all of those people, they got it from us. You're welcome, Internet.
We invented that.
Yes. Just like a lot of other things. We have innovated where everyone else just imitates. Including in making comics, by the way, because again, you look at our comics and you can see we're operating on another level. While not trying to, our comics don't look like they're trying to be too smart for the audience. They're just meant to be fun and readable, and that's it.
Yeah, I wanted to
a bunch of dumb exposition clogging shit up.
I would want to read. And I already know I can do better than so many other people.
And we have. I mean, what would you say? Have we made a comic better than Isom here?
I think we've succeeded.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
Like
even if you just judge by the first 10 pages of actual comic content, not just the variant covers. Forget the variant covers, but the actual first 10 pages of content. It's a pretty clear comparison. And to be honest, even the guys at Iconic Comics agree with us about this, even if they don't want to admit it. I understand they don't want to.
I'm not going to twist their arm.
No,
force them to say that.
But
this is just
nobody's giving nobody's giving Eric July offers. They're not saying, "Hey, Eric July, can you please write a comic book for me? If I pay you, will you write a comic for my company, for my IP?" No, that's not happening because his writing sucks. Obviously,
yes.
Of course. Obviously.
This is just so tediously fucking generic that there's
it's just the same. There were like 10 other black superhero comics just like this coming out like every week or every month for the previous 40 years. I remember reading the new releases on Comixology back when that existed, and there was like the user submitted stuff. It was a Comixology Submit where you could put your own comics onto Comixology, and there were constantly like Black Superhero issue #1, a brand new IP with brand new unique ideas, and every single one of them from the preview pages, the opening 3 preview pages, all open with splash page that says like 2 weeks ago, doesn't show anything, and then the next page was people standing around talking. And it was just one after the other and this was like 15 years ago, fucking 10 years ago, 5 years ago, and now
I would say you could technically date this all the way back to Luke Cage.
Yeah, the Luke Cage comics were not interesting or original back then either.
No.
And this is just the latest flavor of basically it's the latest rebrand of Comicsgate and Cyberfrog. Is like, here is a comic that is it's going to own the woke, and it's a new unique thing, and if it doesn't take off, we'll just throw in a bunch of other side characters and maybe they'll take off. But none of them are interesting. None of them actually accomplish anything in their own stories. And so it just fizzles out. It's Arkhaven with the alt hero. It's just another attempt to do that. And after this fizzles out, there will be another attempt to do that with somebody else. Some other person will make another huge, massive selling, a huge funding, all that shit comic book that'll be just as boring. People will go full cult insanity for it, where they will be hilariously, hysterically angry. Like, if this was 2006, the people defending this comic would be easily labeled the biggest faggots on the entire internet. But now it's current year. So the biggest faggots on the internet are fucking like 3 billion other people.
Like, what the fuck? I've never heard of this. What is this?
Yeah, but like back then, everyone used to make fun of people like this.
And maybe one in every 10,000 of them that exist will ever actually. It's sort of like OnlyFans. It's like one in every 10,000 girls ever actually makes more than like $30 a month showing up being an asshole.
Yeah, that's basically the equivalent. And people act like the ones who make a lot of money on OnlyFans must actually have some quality to them. And again, that's people who are not smart enough to tell the difference between quality and popularity. Because one of the tells of that is name a favorite part.
Telling people that sex work is real work.
Yeah. But it's the common America rule. It's like, okay, prove to me that there is something good about this, because if there is, you can quantify it. I don't need to tell you what quantify means. You should already know. It's very simple. You have access to the internet. You can go learn that.
Anybody being told to exercise any kind of scrutiny or judgment whatsoever in a critical capacity, like it's not.
Well,
it's a tall order.
People get angry about it. That's one thing we've also learned. Like, again, fucking 15, 20 years ago now, is that really stupid people get angry when you force them to have any standards in anything. And that's something we've been proven right about time after time, and just like the same way we've been proven right about this too.
I hate to be mad at them, because the audience is who butters your bread, but fuck all of y'all.
But these people aren't a real audience. They're not reading comics. They're buying merch for a political YouTube channel. That's it.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
for a PR channel.
What I mean is that, like, maybe they should actually stop and read, because it's almost enraged, like, because it makes me sound like such a stupid fucking dickhole to even insinuate this, but like any degree of like reading comprehension, or like the ability to take ideas in and understand things. And I understand that the kid on YouTube who makes the essays, he has all of but like, we're talking like basic levels of reading comprehension that are sorely missing. And like,
it's a broad plate now, because the lowest 15% are essentially illiterate.
And not only that, they're learning how to speak English from fucking American dubs of anime. All right, you have any idea how bad that is? Like, they're learning. They're learning to it. They tolerate the enunciation issues. They tolerate all, like, American dubs of anime are probably the
lowest level of voice acting.
It's the most destructive thing to our children's dignity that I can think of. Like, you could have like somebody run around. You could have like how can I phrase this? You could like have somebody chasing children around, whipping them with a towel on camera, and that is not as big of a damage to their dignity as just like taking in all of the unique affectations of American voice actors. Like, it is the single, at any rate, just the English language is kind of warping and getting kind of crumbled into dust. and like there's just no way to communicate with somebody below a certain threshold.
Yeah, it's not just the attention span either, because you can hold an attention span somehow just by being better at telling stories, but the actual comprehension is dropping. People are getting more dumber. But again, the audience for books like this is 50-year-olds who don't actually want to read the books. They just want to status signal and virtue signal how they bought the books without even bothering to read it.
I'll tell you what, though, if you go after them as an individual, what you do is you just kind of undercut yourself in the future. The fact that people buy things for totally irrelevant reasons, the fact that
the American comic market, that's another reason why, the Iconic guys agree with us about wanting to appeal to the Japanese market is always superior, because those people actually read books to enjoy the books.
I'm just saying, like, remember Michael Jordan, Republic would buy sneakers too.
Yeah.
So
he did have a good point with that too. It is always important to realize that if you're going to make comics, and if you're an American, you're making comics, you want to at some point be like, well, I don't want to alienate any potential audience if I can help it. So yeah, that's the thing. Our comics aren't about that. Our comics can be read and enjoyed by anyone as long as they actually want to read and enjoy comics.
There might be people who are listening to this who are wondering, it's like, how fucking hard are you going to be going on your own audience and your work? And the answer is, if anything, I'm softening my tone the most for the books.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're being nice.
Because I want people to enjoy the books. And if there's one thing I know I hate from other people's books, it's when they get really preachy and up their own ass trying to lecture me.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk shit because there's plenty of nice people, all right? I'm not even that fucking smart. I'm not so goddamn smart that I can't contain myself. That's ridiculous.
I'm smart.
We're all right. We're all right.
7 IQ. I took an IQ test for free on the internet in
we're all right.
2000.
But it doesn't matter. That's irrelevant, all right? You're not smart enough to
I'm not a rocket surgeon.
How do I even play this?
We're not rocket surgeons.
This isn't
you can put it like that.
surgery. But also,
we still speak the same language as everybody else, all right? That's what I'm trying to say, is we still speak the same language. There's nothing wrong with not being a fucking genius. And but the thing is I was raised perfectly fucking average, all right? My old man, he spoke to me, the only reason my vocabulary comes out the way it does is because my old man never baby talked me when I was a kid. So so I got a little more flowery than I probably should be, but ultimately, I don't use.
You also understand it though. You understand how you use your speech. That's an important thing, and that takes more thought, which takes more everyone. Brain juice.
This was the biggest lesson I learned from Star Trek: is that there's always more to learn. And so, for me, as far as I'm concerned, there's never an excuse to just stop learning.
Yeah. Well, okay, so think about it this way: all these kids who grow up and read mangas and stuff, that's pretty much a big thing now. They might even read subtitles or whatever. They spend all this time reading, but they don't know how to read at the same time. How does that fucking work?
I think that's I think that people who read manga are a completely different issue. And on top of that, the stuff, this cape shit stuff here, this sort of the secretly corporate owned fake indies, they're run and controlled by immoral people. That's regardless of the quality of their work, the fact that their comics suck. On top of their comic sucking, they're covering up for actual child abusers and shit like that. And drug addicts. All of them are drug addicts. And I've certainly heard a lot of shit and a lot of leaked messages from people on the inside who've been talking about that.
It's even worse than that.
Yes,
we could speculate, but the simple fact is I don't want to speculate.
Yeah, I don't want to know any of these people, and by that nature, and they have revealed plenty about themselves.
I don't.
But on top of that, the books, the comics they're involved in are not only bad, but they actually show a sense of immorality in the stories that they're telling. Isom has an immoral story, the same way that Cyberfrog has an immoral story about
puts forward
inaction
immoral
and
ideals.
Incorrect fucking morality.
Are you saying that being boring is immoral?
Well, yes, but also not the boring parts that are immoral, but the actual the morality aspect of the story, that any amount of story that's actually there is kind of empty, because again, like in this, it's about how no impulse control is somehow a moral justified action.
Well, clowned on you in the
failure
club,
to
and you had to
act,
come
the
back and beat his
failure
ass.
to, because the missing girl he's looking for, that whole story is just dumped in the next issue. That goes nowhere.
Oh,
He's fighting
fights
demons.
like demon
He's
monkeys
literally
instead.
fighting demons in the next issue. And this fucking supposed girl, she's nowhere to be seen in any of this.
And there's some kind of like Dan Brown Da Vinci Code shit that ends up coming out, I think, in the latest book of Isom, where it's like Jesus's secret son has something to do with how he got his powers or something.
Gnarly.
It's something like that. It's something basically like that. And if anyone's like, that's not what it is, and it's like, what's the difference though between that and just fucking anything similar? The difference is making excuses for an e-celeb, and that's what all of this really boils down to, is people wanting to worship at the cult of the e-celeb. That's all that's important to everyone else, and to us what's important is the actual comic, and in this case the actual comic sucks.
Yeah,
I think that's a good place to wrap up the review.
Yeah, I just forget that. Yes, yeah, let's definitely wrap up the review, because I'm not reading any more of that fucking comic. It's so terrible. At any rate, I just keep forgetting that I have hobbies and stuff, and I'm like busy. So like when you see the stuff that people get into, you realize that it's them trying to occupy themselves somehow, and that cult of personality or just trying to be a team player. Usually, team player is probably the better term.
Yeah,
like those people getting into team
in a
sports
derogatory sense, though.
And that's really all they got. So like you form your own team. When I said earlier, like you need an army or you need the PR thing, it's like you form team dudes, team brothers or whatever you're going to call yourselves, and like you can get people on your side.
You can call them the Venture Brothers.
If you can get people on your side, man, it's like it's a magical panacea for like all manner of things. Your job as an entertainer is to be liked. Like that's it. And like there's a certain degree of like you do have to fling shit back and forth, I suppose. I'd rather not. I don't have time for that.
Well,
shit.
yeah, that does like that's another aspect, is that manufacturing drama, fake drama, helps create more traffic. So that's why there was also behind the scenes a few mentions of people were saying that Eric July and Ethan Van Sciver made up their feud just to make up, again, those are rumors on the internet.
That's what I gotta do. I gotta hire like some fucking loudmouth to do all of my beefing for me. Like that's just hire some out of control wackadoo to get on the internet and just talk shit on my behalf. And then it's like plausibly deniable. Oh, I didn't fucking say it. Like it's my.
Well, yeah, like back in the 2000s, that was a lot less effort and just more fun, because there were, literally billions less people on the internet at that time. So
yeah, nobody could report you.
Yeah. Or if they did, they would just get laughed at. Like I remember people trying to report us to our ISP and would just be laughed at. But now, net copping. But these days, the way social media and the internet is designed is to support the people, like the fans of Comicsgate or Rippaverse, Isom, whatever, to support them for reporting.
Yeah, now
people.
net copping is like an international fucking movement.
It's a standard. It's an internet standard where every single place on the internet
wants to engage in net copping.
Yes. And again, that's the old goofy version of it, but yeah. Now it's just reporting and flagging, which is seen as a completely mundane, ordinary behavior. Or fucking like one of the other people who was involved with the whole fake comics, the fake indie comic stuff, once pretended they reported us to the FBI. They're like, I just talked to the FBI about this Thomas Royloop guy. And it's like, that's a name I made up like 6 months earlier. And it's like, you're gonna tell them about how you got made fun of on the internet. Again, like I said, if you went by any standard, all of these people would be deemed the biggest faggots on the entire internet.
Yeah, this is back when they thought they could get away with it too, because there's like a serious push
towards a couple years ago too, though. With most of this,
their collective hysteria was almost getting codified.
Now they have the fan bases to back it up, though, because they have like silver play buttons and shit where they have 100,000 followers who believe everything, even though the evidence, like in every single case, it would be like, well, here's the evidence that proves you wrong. And then they would just block us. Like there are tons of people, there are literally thousands of people in Comicsgate and Rippaverse who have us blocked because we showed evidence that they were wrong. And that's that is the kind of people that are creating these kinds of comics, and that's the kinds of stuff that all of the fans of Isom or Cyberfrog or whatever are supporting. They're supporting that behavior. They're supporting that level of immorality, and they're doing it through buying comics, because it's not about the comics, it's about supporting immoral, like unironically, actual child abusers. Like the guy who even said that, he got fucking caught like abusing his children. He sold his kid to a pedophile, like for real. And this guy's involved in Rippaverse now. It's fucking bizarre.
He's got an army of 40-year-old wine aunt Karens defending him, but most especially it's just the comics themselves send bad messages.
Yes. Again, that's what I was saying, is that the actual stories are immoral.
Yeah.
Cyberfrog is about apathy. It's about the power of the goodness of apathy.
Yeah, because the character does nothing, and he's inherited a defeat, or not inherited a lost fight. He lost the fight and just doesn't do anything about it.
Fight.
Yeah,
he surrendered a defeat. And allowed humanity to be destroyed by a big threat that apparently he could have stopped, which honestly, I don't see how.
But I also don't care.
But the point is that he's a bad person, and the story is about celebrating him being a bad person, allowing others to suffer for him, for his bad choices.
And then on top of that, even more bizarre is that it's also about how he's the real victim in all of this. It's like fucking world ends tomorrow, Ethan Van Sciver worst hit.
I just wonder, like you said, like Cyberfrog is about, apathy, and I was like, is this your interpretation, or did he actually go through and thematically organize
in the comic? In the first comic, the bad guys, it's like evil wasps from outer space, had already won, and the first comic just ends with Cyberfrog is like trapped in some kind of hive, and he's like, oh, damn it, the evil wasp won. The second issue starts with the evil wasp built giant hives all over the entire Earth. And Cyberfrog is somehow free of his prison. It's never established how he got out or what he's doing, but he just wanders around a forest, and that's it. That's the whole book.
You know what my favorite part
is? It backfired on Ethan so bad that he had to go back and rewrite it and draw more of the book.
Yeah, that's right. He got caught on continuity errors because, of course, he doesn't he can't write at all.
Yeah,
but my favorite part of Cyberfrog, I've never read
he teamed up with Ethan Van Sciver and Eric July. That both of them teamed up. It's not a coincidence.
My favorite part of Cyberfrog, which I've never read, is the fact that he does basically, the second book is like post-apocalypse, and the only reason I can think of that he decided to do that is because I did a script reading on fucking Preston's fucking stream back in the day, where I put forward the idea for a story set in a post-apocalypse.
Yeah.
That's literally it. But the character in my story doesn't have superpowers.
By the way, Ethan, we also know Ethan constantly listened to our video. Ethan actually confirmed, he admitted that he constantly listened to our videos.
We don't need to confirm that.
But that
we
was
don't need to confirm
confirmed.
that, because all I have to do is claim it. It's the truth.
But also he admitted it at the same time. But yeah, that's another thing, is that we're better at noticing everything that's going on and being honest about it than everyone else in all of indie comics, which is the reason why we do these reviews and videos. Mostly for our own edification and for fun, but it's because we can call it better than everyone else, and it's one of the reasons why, we get more. We got our books. We've outproduced all of these other people already. Like we have fucking 4 different comic lines out and that kind of shit. It's pretty good. If it's 4 different series. The fucking, I don't know if Princess High Ground 2 is ever going to come out anytime too soon, but we're still working on other stuff. That's always good.
Yeah, I got so much work to do. I always thought, like, it's a great idea.
Is this like still in the oven? It's basically it's fucking yet to rise, because there's always a billion potential ideas with her. And it's more of a gag comic in a way too. It's like Spy versus Spy.
And when I could easily write at the time of the initial Princess High Ground, I did not understand how to write a plot. I did it 1 page at a time, like I always did, because I was retarded.
It was Spy versus Spy stuff. It was just for fun.
That's the internet method. Is you kind of just do it one at a time, because each page is just meant to be self-contained.
Yeah, but then I ended up having like some sort of storyline or consistency, and I had characters, and I was throwing all sorts of stuff.
The individual, I'm sure, guy starts showing up, and he's holding dynamite, and Trolley McDouche is going to blow him up or something.
The best, and then the best part is after he gets blown up, like he's in the pile of rubble, and then like Trolley McDouche just like pops out. He says, "I'm perfectly fine." Like he wasn't even hurt. Nobody got to see that page. I think I might have thrown that into the. I think I threw that into the compilation.
Yeah, no, that's in the book. Yes,
fine.
It's one of the last pages, actually. Bonus.
Yeah,
page.
Good. I wanted to make sure people saw that. They knew that Trolley McDouche wasn't dead. And
Trolley McDouche can never die. As long as the spirit of trolling survives, Trolley will survive.
It's the typical frustration that a lot of his victims have with him.
Yes, I managed to unkillable.
I managed to metabolize all of the characters into my normal everyday webcomic that I want to do, that I have been doing, that I have hundreds and hundreds of pages sketched out for, that are all arced and everything's perfect and polished and super clever, and nobody's going to read it because, it's because it has more than one sentence per page. But no, it'll be fine. I think people will probably dig it. I spent a lot of time like brainstorming.
Yeah, you're doing the world building on it still.
Yeah, well, not necessarily. I think a lot of that's been handled. The thing is I don't want to world build everything at once. I want to get the broad strokes and then like kind of find out, because if you know exactly where you're going,
process, yeah,
if you know exactly where you're going, it's absolutely no fun. Like no fun at all. And
yeah,
and
that, by the way, you got to leave space open for something to change, even to something you have planned. It's like, I got this planned, and then by the time you get to writing it, it's like, well, now I got this other idea that actually I would like to do.
And if you have everything
room to change,
if your hatches are battened down, so to speak, you have no wiggle room at all. Mm-hmm. And you come up with better ideas all the fucking time, all right? If you really get in, if anybody listening to this wants to make stuff, don't ever lock yourself into like, I had ideas that I was like, well, I'd better make sure that I connect point A with point B with point C that I wrote 10 years ago. You can do that, but if you ever find yourself like saying, "Oh, well, this is really hard, and I don't think it's going to fit together," or if you find yourself shooing away good ideas that pop up into your head, "No, I can't do that because I have to do this other thing that I wrote first," then destroy the thing that you are struggling with, and then put in the better thing.
Yeah,
that's
when
like,
people talk about writer's block, sometimes that's what they mean is they're like, well, I came up with this idea, but it would interfere with my plans. And it's like, well, just go somewhere, take some other direction with it.
There's a part where the top hat man, he jumps off the building and he lands in front of the cops, and he takes his top hat off and he tips his top hat and he says, "Hey, how you doing, cops?" And that's the coolest thing in the whole world to me, and I have to have that part. But I don't know how to make it so the top hat man can actually jump off of a building, because he's actually just a regular guy, which is established. It's like you've gotten into this issue where you need to now get rid of this part that you've been planning around for years, which is a lot of writers have these icebergs that float around in their head of ideas that are, they were good at the time. You were listening to one of the cool songs that Marilyn Manson did, and you were 14 years old, and you're like, "Oh, fuck yeah, man." And then this is going to be badass. And then essentially it's the same thing as how we were describing earlier with how Iceland was written. But all of that shit has to be updated every time you go through Iceland. The comic I was working on now, half the characters 10 years ago, if you talked to me about that comic, it's not the same product at all.
It has a different name. I remember when it was Wellflare.
Yeah, well, I still own the. I changed.
Yeah,
I changed
you have the account. I remember.
I changed the name of the comic to Pandarango, and I changed the name. The original comic Wellflare, it was getting too many weird vibes from gay wads who had to they took the fine tooth comb politically to everything, so it's really hard to
How is this about white birth rate? This is about.
Well, what's this mean? What's this mean? Wellflare, huh? All right, that's fine.
It have to do with the welfare system?
I got away from that and I changed it, but Wellflare is still technically there's a definition for it, and it's an actual city in the universe that at any rate, I've explained it away. I've shoved it off into a corner. It'll be used later.
Yeah, I remember way back when we would just talk about all of our comic and story ideas. I remember you telling about it was a sort of an implosion. I think it was supposed to be across the country. But it was starting in the city, whereas it was sort of like the welfare state was finally reaching its critical mass or something.
Yeah, something. Well, okay, so the city itself was like this government experiment where they took all the stupidest fucking ideas from other places that had California. Yes, and then they would implement them there. But it wasn't just government subsidy stuff. It was corporateocracy, company town shit. It was all manner of silly public works projects that made no sense or only made sense on paper. So it was kind of Cube, how they had the giant public works project that murdered people.
The
Cube.
Yeah,
the dice people with lasers.
They were trying to figure out how this thing is even built, and it's just somebody just funded it and no one's ever shut it down.
Yeah.
And now we're just at any rate, it. Now we got to chew on our buttons.
Yeah, having that all.
They're just sucking on their buttons.
They're sucking on the buttons, yes.
I was also going to say that one of the weaknesses I used to have that I kind of feel like I have to break is I'm willing to fucking give a pass to plot holes if something cool happened. Rule of cool is a big deal to me, but it is a terrible idea for the perspective of a writer. If you're trying to fucking tell a story, rule of cool can be absolutely crippling, debilitating.
Yeah,
it'll shoot a hole right in your boat. You gotta be real careful. I mean, you set the expectations for power systems and levels and how active and explosive the world is, how volatile the world is, whether or not people
Jaws,
are shooting magic beams
literally
out of the
end of Jaws, all the complaints were no, an air tank wouldn't blow up the shark, and Spielberg was
it's packed full of dynamite, and it's it's just an oxygen tank, it wouldn't do that, and his response was no one will care, and he was right.
People the audience will, by this point in the movie, the last 2 minutes in the movie, the audience will be satisfied in seeing this. And it's completely true.
That fucking shark bit the boat until it fell apart.
Yeah,
Like
it was a world record.
boat.
That was part also of the fucking plot line, is that this was a world record sized 25-foot great white shark. They're not actually that big. They acknowledge that in the movie, and even the mayor who's trying to shut down the hunt is like, "You'd like to approve that, wouldn't you? Get your name in the world record books or something." They're just fucking with each other. They hate each other so much.
Good thing there's only one of those movies.
Good thing
Anyways,
that I've never watched any of the other Jaws movies. I've only ever watched the first one.
Anyways, another thing that's important about like comic writing and storytelling is we're saying that we, unlike pretty much everyone else, we're saying this from the perspective of people who've actually written stories.
You want to be
coherent and work.
You don't want to start your story by thinking of a really awesome plot twist and then twisting the plot around the plot twist.
Yeah, because then, that's another example of what you were just talking about. Is then you get stuck trying to meet the story to that ending. I mean, it can work. It absolutely can work.
One of the pieces of advice, and this is not the same thing, is to come up with the ending to your story first. That is not the same as a plot twist, though.
Yeah, that is different.
A plot twist is a gimmick. You can also make the ending of your story a plot twist, and it can work, but that is way harder.
It is important to be able to change things if you need to make the actual story work. You
can come up with a better story if you think of a plot twist first, make the story, realize your plot twist isn't going to work anymore now that you've written it, and then abandon the plot twist.
Again, if your story is better for it, to abandon that plot twist. Absolutely.
And you usually know, if you're a good writer like we are, you instinctually already know what it means, how to detect that.
One good way to learn some of that is to just actually try writing. To be honest, writing fanfics is at least some experience in finding out your ability to write stories and structure and characters.
I'm not proud of fan fiction, and there's like the one fanfic, the Eva fanfiction, where it's like the perfect fucking parody.
That's from like fucking almost 30 years ago now.
Inserts. And it's also an initial.
I remember that guy. That guy was funny though. He literally just wrote a self-insert where he just fucked Asuka and Rey, and I think even Kaworu wanted to fuck him too, and I think Shinji also did, and Misato
Shinji wanted
did,
to be
and all
friends
this
with
shit.
him too instead of Kaoru, and Kaoru also wanted to be friends with him.
Yes. Or gay lovers.
The point was that it was
he
funny.
was just so cool, and again, it was a very self-aware fanfic, though. It was funny. But again, that's for fun sometimes. But if you really want to write a
Don't
story,
ever be proud of your fan fiction, but definitely write it because you need to write in order to practice writing, so you know instinctually what is right and wrong.
That was one of the first pieces of advice we gave back in the old blog days, and that like 2011 was make your first comic and get it over with, so you can make your next one, and then ideally your next one, not your fucking next chapter, but most ideally your next story, so that you're not just writing the same story for the rest of your life.
Could ever make while writing a comic is just the fucking idea that it's like, no, I'm not ready to write yet, because what if they see? It's the dumbest thing you can do. Just write, just get it over with. Don't expect it to be the first thing. Don't expect it to be nuclear fire, the ultimate success. Don't be like that guy who was making that. He was like inspired by what was a Cave Story. He wanted to make his own version of Cave Story. It's like, Nintendo's going to buy my game. I'm going to be fucking rich and famous on my first game.
Is he the guy who fucking collapsed?
Don't ever do that.
And fucking imploded his room and was just thrashing around on a webcam?
He recorded himself working for 5 years on his game. And then day one of Nintendo rejected my game is just his room is trashed. His life is over.
There's also like
why?
Yandev and shit too.
I kind of don't want to see that, but I am somewhat morbidly curious.
I think that was from like
that was
over
one of the
10
first
years ago
internet
too.
things. I remember that. Yeah, that was from like 2002 because, of course, the guy heard about. He probably played Cave Story and was like, "Oh,
Cave Story came out in
that."
like 2002, I think.
Yeah, and he was like, "Oh, I can do this. I can make a game." And it was just like a generic JRPG, but also level 20 of Tetris.
Cave Story was released for free on the internet, though. That's what fucking, of course, this guy was forgetting or ignoring, is that the Cave Story guy just released his game for free on the internet, and it just became so popular because it was good that fucking people made pay versions of it. Whereas this guy was like, I'm going to make this, and Nintendo's going to say yes. And they didn't, and he fucking like committed suicide or something.
No, I don't know if he committed suicide.
I don't think he killed himself,
Yeah,
but
his entire career
nobody
was,
remembers
as far
him
as I know,
anymore.
his career just fucking tanked.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
I mean, but again, yeah, that's the expectations of your first
fail.
thing being your most important. Instead, make your first thing and get it over with and move on to your second thing. Don't make your first thing your most important. Because most of the successful people who have made something successful, it's never their first thing that is successful. It's sometimes their 5th or their 10th. Like the 10th, maybe. That classic comic book, classic cape shit.
That wasn't really his first either.
And that wasn't really cape shit either. But no, you know what? Irregardless of that, I think, this is, I think this kind of sums up everything that is to be talked about. And I know most people probably won't even comprehend it because, again, it takes a degree of noticing that is at some point innate.
Illegal.
It has to be genetic. Like, there are genetic aspects where some people are prevented genetically from comprehending things that are true. Some people would rather believe something popular than know something that is factual but not popular. And that is the nature of the human, the normie pig cattle race. The fucking they won't be welcomed to the party, pal.
Well, my advice to everybody is to take a little bit of that normie pig attitude and make it a part of your life, and at least to understand it. Thinking you're better than people never helps do anything. Makes
Even if you are better than other people.
You may very well be better than people at things. All right.
It is important. It's always smarter to comprehend the overall of what people are like instead of like, here's only what the smartest people will enjoy. Yeah. You have to consider what regular people will enjoy.
And if you got brother swagger, you could, do something like the Top G. What's that retard's name?
The Andrew Tate stuff.
Yeah, you could probably sit around telling people that you know better than they do, and they'll eventually come to believe you. Because man is by his nature a follower, by and large, and so you can set up a cult of personality or some sort of thing to get people in on you. But ideally, you want to make sure you're keeping. If you attract the wrong crowd, you have to keep them at arm's length because they're a bunch of cloying kind of.
Yeah, you're going to attract the scum of the earth doing that. And again, that's something that is something that really the majority of these people in the PR comics, it's like that's really what it is. It's PR comics. It's not real comics. It's not real indie comics. It's not even necessarily trying to imitate Marvel or DC. It's a PR company that puts out comics that are about PR, about building the public relations of the creator and their publicly acceptable YouTube monetizable opinions.
Yeah, and good luck
and the
competing.
Alternative to that is making actual good comics, though. That's our approach. Is instead of doing that and instead of supporting that, you should either make good comics or support actual good comics.
Yes, but of course, that's of course.
I'm perfectly fine. So yeah, I think that's a good sum up of this comic. Even yeah, the second like even out of curiosity, I remember trying to read the second one out of curiosity, and it dumps all of the story from the first one and just does different unrelated shit. Whereas like
the reason they did that
just
is because
confusing shit. Yeah, because it was going nowhere. I mean, anyone knows it was going nowhere. And it doesn't matter what's in the comic. What matters is people are fans of the status. They're fans of the popularity of the YouTuber. It was never about the comic in the first place. This was the same thing when it was about Ethan Van Sciver. It's the same thing. It's going to be the same thing when it's about whatever the next e-celeb is. So it's not going to matter. But the people who actually like comics will eventually find, if you are making something that is truly unique and interesting and creative, some people are going to end up finding it. And again, one of the best ways, the modern equivalent of pulp is digital internet release. It's why Princess High Ground fucking blew up and became such a meme, is because it had funny, bizarre shit that people could clip just singular panels out of and turn it into a meme or a fucking image reaction image thing.
I wish I redrew all of it.
Damn it. The thing is, you also don't need to. It's the two cakes dilemma, where the readers are like, hey, two cakes. That's all they care about is the cakes. And that's all that's important, ultimately.
There's just so many critical minds on whenever it gets reposted onto 4chan. You get to people are like judging me by standards that are easily 10, 15 years ago, and it's
it was like 15 years at this point. And
and it's
like funny because you can see the difference in like the first page versus the latest. But like I put the latest page you ever drew of Princess High Ground in the first page of the book, and then right after that you can see like very bland flats and much more simpler art. But to me, it's like, oh, look how cool it is that you can see the difference in these drawings.
If people, you know what, those people are being willfully cantankerous. They're obviously just being.
Well, if it's on CO or if it's on CO or IC, of course, that's their entire thing is complaining. A lot of those people genuinely are jealous that your comics are getting shared around, whereas all what they want to do is basically this. They want to do their own version of cape shit, where they're like, I'm going to make a superhero, and it's actually going to be the best, coolest one that's going to be just as popular. It's going to have T-shirts and all that shit. That's what they ultimately want to create, is a marketable T-shirt logo, not an actual book.
I just can't believe people still give a shit about that stuff. Like, I don't know. I'm all avant-garde and shit. Like, I'm trying to do something nobody's seen before.
Aren't we art fags? Are we not art fags?
Are we not art fags?
But, I mean, that's the thing. That's what we've always been like, and that's why we're better at making comics than anyone else. Lol. Lol.
Lol. Lol. Lol. Why do you say it like that?
What are you doing?
Lol.
Why do you say that like that?
Why do you say it like Bane? Yeah.
What?
That'd be good. Batman, I have killed many children today. Lol.
Well, you're going to jail.
Oh shit. He's going to punch him and send him to jail. Now, Bane is really in for it. Oh no, look out. The Joker might get arrested and put in Arkham Asylum.
That is one of the things. On the one hand, it's like, oh, the no kill rule. Okay, I get it.
Wouldn't that be hilarious if Batman just accidentally killed Joker and it was like, oops. Well, anyways, next.
My bad.
Whoopsie.
Sorry about that.
Purified hydrogen bomb. What? Wait, now he's saying purified hydrogen bomb.
But he's saying it in a way I don't understand. He's saying
those aren't words. Batman, those aren't words. Fucking Robin is like, Batman, those aren't words. We're just making noises. All words are just noises we make with our mouth. Oh, you're right. Oh, Batman, you're right. I can't wait.
I love Marvel. I love quippy Marvel writing.
That's gonna be in the next James Gunn Batman when James Gunn finally ruins Batman. He's ruining it.
That's probably one of the biggest things I have fear of is like writing like a fucking quippy.
Yes.
Joss Whedon.
Trying to be funny.
Is
Joss Whedon.
Yeah. Joss Whedon. Yeah, Joss Whedon is like.
Damn it, Tank.
I'm gonna fill you guys in on a little secret. All right, anybody listening here? I had a major hyperactivity personality disorder where my inside of my brain felt like fucking boiling worms all the time. I could barely string together sentences for most of my life. I just kind of had a hyperactive kind of limp from one sentence to another. I could never make truly poignant, pithy sayings of any kind. I was just not good at talk. All right, it was bad.
Me no talk, good.
I took fish oil for like a month. All right.
I'm taking
this
fish
might
oil
not be
now.
This might not be everybody's problem, but I took it for a month, and now the inside of my head is, it is not screaming mess of boiling piss and shit. It is. I still run out of words when I'm tired, like I am now. I'm very sleepy.
I mean, everyone does that too, of course.
Yeah, but I am 1,000 times more eloquent than I was 5 years ago. All right, it's not even a contest. But the problem with the before me was that I could consciously acknowledge that Joss Whedon was a very, very bad writer who couldn't keep he couldn't make anything genuine because he had to like piss all over it. He had to always be clever with every no, not always be clever, always be too clever, always be kind of like tacky about how clever he was.
We always used to talk. I remember we always used to talk about that. We would have Skype calls where we would just be trashing Joss Whedon all the time. Many years ago,
Made a bunch of. I remember he made a shitload of shows. And it's like, what the fuck is this, Angel? I've never even heard of this Dollhouse. What the fuck is this shit? It just sounds like fetish fuel for like fucking G-rated horse shit.
I think Aqu was in the Dollhouse, maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking someone else. But at any rate, the worst part though was that no matter how much I consciously acknowledged that guy sucked, somehow the hyperactivity horseshit disorder in my head forced me to make lots and lots of bad gambles in my writing, and it came off as snarky, too clever horse shit. And like it was like I couldn't get away from it. I sit there and I comb through and edit it over and over again, and I was blind to all of that terrible, snarky, Joss Whedon-ish shit. And I knew with every fiber of my being I didn't want to be that way. And I was unable to escape that, to reach escape velocity.
It saturated the culture at the time too, though. It was everywhere. Yeah. It wasn't just Joss Whedon. Dross, I can't even say his name.
Unfortunately,
Steven,
the culture.
Steven.
I was under very
the problem with fucking saturating the culture with this slop.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is why it's a problem for you. This is why it matters. How does this affect you in any way?
This means something. This is important.
Yeah. This is
the guy pointing the Epstein temple on his island. How does this affect you personally?
But like there was no escape from that shit. It was something like, I think honestly, if I was to look at like 90% of the nerds who kind of have a weird sassy tone about them that is kind of unnatural, I think we're all suffering from like some sort of, it's not even a psychological conditioning. I think we're all malnourished and poisoned, and we're unable to comprehend things in a subtle manner because those parts of our brains don't function because we are malnourished in a very specific way. And with me, I needed the fish oil that turned me into basically a normal person.
Well, we actually all take fish oil then, because me and my brother also take fish oil. It's mainly for like cholesterol control. But I take it every night.
But
I'll take blood thinners if I'm going to be sitting in a chair.
And hopefully somebody else hearing this has the same issue I had when I was younger, where it's just
because it can't hurt to take fish oil because there is no negative,
no downside
aspect to it.
Unless you're one of those like wimpy anemic bleeder nerds, and like it'll thin your blood just a little bit, so then you'll start getting chronic nosebleeds.
I do not think it would even do that.
I have a friend who was unable
high
to
cholesterol, and so they fucking put me on fucking a statin, and the result is that it fucked up my blood chemistry so much. It's like, you know what? I already don't trust the medical system as a result of COVID.
Just like Neil Breen, it's like, I don't need these, and just dump them in the toilet.
Yeah, I'm absolutely pulling Neil Breen. He was right.
Neil Breen, as always, Neil Breen was right. If it can be destroyed, just like Neil Breen said, if it can be destroyed by the truth, it deserves
to be destroyed by the truth. It deserves to be.
Yes.
As Neil Breen said, 407 years ago.
The great speaker, the great communicator, Neil Breen.
Yes. The Breener.
Why did you commit suicide?
Why did you commit suicide? I cannot believe this.
He's nagging his best friend who is dead.
His dead best friend. He's nagging him like a wife. After his actual wife already killed him. That was terrible. That's even worse. That's how much worse can this be? Imagine being killed by your wife and and Neil Breen comes in to nag you when you're dead. I can't imagine how much worse things can be.
What kind of hell? Living hell.
The worst part is that there's evidence that you don't blank out and die immediately when you're dead. Sometimes you kind of stick around.
Maybe he was still conscious for a while. That's even more horrifying.
And all you hear is Neil Breen in your ear, and you're just like, "Fucking shit, man!
I am out of here.
Leave the room so I could shit my pants and die."
I cannot believe that you committed suicide.
Yeah.
What were we talking about? Well, who cares?
I'm sleepy. I gotta go to bed.
Yeah. So that wraps it up. 0 out of 10.
Is ism really worth losing sleep over? No.
It's bad.
So yeah, it's as usual.
It's bad in the worst way. It is a 0 out of 10 in the worst way, in that it is like it's there and you don't know why it's there, and it's just going through the motions because it thinks it has
boring,
to do things.
But it also insists upon itself.
Yes,
it insists upon itself.
Yes, even worse. So yeah, generic cape slop has already existed 1,000 times over, but this time delusional people are convincing themselves that it's important. So not even 0 out of 10, -9 out of 10. It's even worse than regular.
Amen to that.
Yeah,
I can even forgive something that's just boring if it's like, well, I see this as having a right to exist.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It has no right to exist.
Yeah, and again, the people supporting it are objectively immoral. Jesus Christ would be like, here, this is immoral, pointing to specific sins and being like, this is going to keep you out of heaven. This is going to send you to hell. This is going to send you to hell.
I'm supposed to be on the cross here, but you don't understand this ISOM shit.
Yeah, he came over personally. So yeah, as usual, if you've been listening to us, you know more than everyone else.
He crawled out of the belly of the whale to explain it.
Yes, and
because everyone knows the famous Bible story of Jesus in the belly of the whale
on the mountaintop with the 10 Commandments.
Yes,
but,
yes.
So bad comic as usual. It's something that, of course, we had called before anyone else was capable of it. Even the people who are trying to rationalize it in their minds, they can't. They've actually gone insane trying to twist themselves into knots to figure out how the people they were willing to die for on the internet are somehow now their worst enemies, and somehow wrong and right. They were right, then they're wrong in the exact same ways about the exact same things. So while the rest of the internet is going completely schizo and losing their minds, we've
never done that.
Yeah, we've been morally consistent, and we've been proven right every step of the way. And which is, pretty good.
Yeah.
So
never once have we done anything where it's like, oh man, I said that thing 2 years ago, and now I'm getting in big trouble. I better go back on it.
Yeah,
that's never
which,
happened for me.
Interestingly enough, the people who hate us and disagree with us have done that so many times that a lot of them have blocked us because they lost the argument, and then a lot of them, surprisingly, for them, have unblocked us because they were forced to admit we were right. Like a bunch of people who were like, oh, Ethan Van Sciver's a good person. You're just a jealous piece of shit. Then they unblock us because now Ethan hates Eric July, and they decided to pick Eric July's side arbitrarily. Just pick Eric July's side in the fake internet war made to manufactured to drum up ad revenue and clicks and super chats for the under people, the normie pig cattle.
These people now never actually have to work for a living.
Yeah, it's YouTuber welfare. And a lot of people who say they're against welfare are actually for it by, continuing to donate super chats to YouTubers. It's
I want some of that welfare.
they're against everything they claim or think that they are for. And they're for everything they claim they're against.
I need welfare if I can't go to sleep, so I'm getting out of here. See you later, guys.
We should finish this off then.
Yeah, so as usual, then for everyone else, sure to listen to Shitty Webcomics.